call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson who's possibly with the daughter. Step out with this.
2412.
Veteran crisis hotline's calling in, so they have a female veteran off her medication. She's at work to Safe Haven. Detective 12, take a check that one out.
6-1 bullet, 2-1 try to get shot.
Also still stands for talk. No. Offender in custody. Anyone else close with this result, let me know.
Sweet. I'll let our supervisor know that rest attached.
Possible here,
ba, 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 ba. Oh, good evening. I am rested. Well, I'm a little rested. Little rested, but I'm refreshed as well. We're back in the studio. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for hopping in. Medical examiner preliminary summary came out. Some interesting things when it comes to who says what was there according to the family, and then when you hear from the medical examiner who says what wasn't there, it's like, wait a minute, hold on a second. We're going to read that and check it out. There's some interesting things in it. We're going to check that out tonight. We're going to be going over a recap of the protest. I saw somebody say, I want to Shazam a song. That's why I put every time I do the intro, those two gentlemen right there, Grismatically and Architect, were the two originators of the music that we have in the intro. That's why I highlight them every show. They do work for other creators too. So drop their links there, and you can go sub up and hit them up. But when it came to that specific song, it was Architect that made that for me. He said, he's like, man, CJ, I need to come up, man. You need a like freaky theme song, like scary, suspenseful. I was like, yeah, I dig it. And then he just made it. He's like, here you go, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's beautiful. That's why every intro, when I'm in studio, I'm able to bloop them up on the screen for you. That way, you guys could definitely go sub up. Very talented individuals. The song in the beginning, the first thing with the little light flashing, neon sign flashing, that's just a little something that I put together. That's from the very beginning of my show when I first started. If you go all the way back then, you'll see shortly after I got things situated and started to learn things here on the show, whatever that was. That's when I was like, all right, let me put a little something together. And I had to have something, so that'll always hold a special place in my heart. It's from the very first intro. So we're going to be checking out a lot of things tonight. There's a lot of things to go over. So we're definitely going to have a jam-packed show. We're not going to be starting. We were kind of still in prep stage of the deep dive, but we really broke it down today, and we just want to make sure that we do it right from the get-go. Nothing but, because these are going to be long episodes. They're going to be like 5-hour shows. We're going to have 6 episodes. So I think, because I know Rosie has other obligations, I think we're going to be doing it Thursday. I'm pretty sure that's what, either Wednesday or Thursday, but I'm thinking it was Thursday. If she's in chat, I don't know. She might be sleeping. If you're in chat, let us know. I think it was Thursday, so we'll be doing that. They're going to be long ones, you guys. The first episode is the timeline. JP, Micah, were the obituary, the sermon, the concern. I mean, this whole first episode is going to be like an introduction / timeline in the main, the situation, the stories behind it, the court documents, all that stuff. Then part 2 and 3, we're going to be getting into like the key players, the backgrounds, the stories of each of the key players, and there's 8 key players. That'll be in episode 2 and 3. Episode 4, we're going to be going into the footage, and there was something else. Footage and here, hold on. Footage en route. Episode 5 is domestic awareness and Micah's list, and episode 6 is we're going to call Micah's beauty. and that's going to be the title for episode 6. That's going to be the finale, and that's going to be a lot of celebration of Micah and her beauty. So that'll be episode 1, timeline and events. Episode 2 and 3, key players. Episode 4, footage and route. Episode 5, domestic awareness and Micah's list. Episode 6, Micah's beauty is what we're going to be doing. So a lot of stuff. I'm thinking we're going to be doing an Idaho 4 show tomorrow during the daytime, and there is a court hearing coming up. I think it's Thursday. We'll be doing a Idaho 4 show on Thursday morning as well. I think, or no, early afternoon. We'll be doing an early afternoon show for that. So let me go ahead and get to the hellos. And I really do appreciate you all hanging out, and thank you. And thank you for the well wishes too. It was a long drive. Got in real late, but I did get some rest. Got some laundry. A lot of laundry. It sucks, man. What's up, Busby? I wish I was golfing right now. Shoot. What's up, Vivian? Thank you for hopping in. Oh, nothing. Just that long drive. But we're good. I'm ready to go. Hide and seek. 8 or 9 something. What's up, D Mystery? Appreciate you guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and go through these. Yes, I did get some rest. Detective, Caddy, Mythical, Connected at the Soul tonight. Number 12. What's up, the 411? Want to say thank you. I'm actually going to be showing one of your videos tonight if we can get to it. I have a lot of stuff to get into, but there is one video I did want to show everybody. So thank you for hopping in. I appreciate it, and thank you for your hard work as well. If you haven't checked her channel out, here, give me 1 second. Let me get her link. I apologize. I have so many tabs here. Here we go. There you go. There's her link. What the hell? Hold on. I think I might be opening the phone lines tonight. I don't know. Jay, if you guys remember the Jesus guy at the protest, if you remember him, I've been really busy today. I do apologize. I have been chatting with him a little bit. He might call in the show if he's comfortable. If not, we're gonna talk tomorrow. But he might want to call in tonight. So just as a heads up, he might want to. So we might have to switch or whatever. Because if he wants to call in, I want to make sure that it's available, and we can always get back to what we're talking about. As we get through the evening. What's up, Mary Jorie? Baby monkey? Oh, shoot. Hey, Katrina's got a baby monkey. It's cool as hell, too. She says it throws food. What's up, JD? Appreciate it. Yeah, it's busy. 97. Ooh. Northern Missouri. Oh, I bet it's humid as hell there. Rita, what's up? What's up, Sarah? Thank you for hopping in. Hope you're doing good. Appreciate you. Justice for Micah. Ticket 23. Aw, thank you so much. That's right. That's one thing I'm going to be going over tonight. Because we're going to be going, I know, remember when the guy came out and he like kneeled down on the sidewalk and he was like kind of praying or whatever? I wasn't fooling for that shit. I was still standing on the other side. And I want to explain to you, because you know that I'm going to explain to you the events that took place with, kind of explaining what was going on. Because I'm going to tell you right now, they may say I'm going to show you. They may say everybody was fooled. My ass was still standing over there at the side of the building. All right. That's why they sent this lady out there. That's why I think she was a plant. So if you've seen the video where the lady's sitting there saying, you need to take the protest inside, and I'm sitting there going, you the fuck I am? What are you trying to do? Get everybody arrested? Oh, that's what you're trying. You're trying to get everybody arrested. Oh, okay. I'm gonna explain it. Because when dude was kneeling down praying, I wasn't over there. I was still on the other side. I was the only one on the other side, and I was sitting there waiting. And I was waiting until somebody said, hey, CJ, this lady wants to talk to you. Oh, okay. And I'm sitting there and I'm still getting a little bit more and I'm waiting for a second and I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I can't be disrespectful. I can't be disrespectful. Let me leave and I'll go talk to this lady. The same lady. Emotional story. But then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute. I have to have church clothes on to go to this church. I'm sorry. I've seen the sermons. The way that I'm dressed, JLR showed me on, shout out JLR, appreciate him in Magnolia. He showed me, he's like, yeah, there's CJ right there. Y'all saw what I was dressed like. Do you think I wasn't dressed okay enough to go in there? What are you talking about? What are we talking about here? And then take the protest inside. It's like, whoa, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Now, I cut the video off. The video that I uploaded, it got cut off, but the live stream's still up there. You can still hear me talking after I took the video. I'm sitting there and I'm like, we don't need to go in there. We can be out here and be, you know what I'm saying? We don't need to go in there. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Wait a minute. What? You want everybody to get arrested? No. No. Sent out for a reason. And I think that's when he took off. Because I was still sitting over there. He knows I'm around. He probably thinks I'm a fucking gnat around his ass, honestly. Like a gnat. But then hey CJ, somebody wants to talk to you. What the Sorry about that, you guys. Then I think that's when it was like, you know, Spidey suit. Right? So I'm gonna show you guys, but we're gonna go into that a little bit later. We got a lot of other stuff to get into though. Give me 1 second. What's up, Michael? I'm like, what? What are you talking about? You guys saw how I was, well, maybe not on my stream, but you know, you can go to JL, go to his video today where he discusses it, and you'll see. He was like, yeah, there's CJ right there. You'll see how I'm dressed. Come on now. I got tattoos too, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't have any on my hands. I don't have Thug Life, but you know what I'm saying? So it's like I could be cool with him, right? Because he's got tats on his hands there. So I didn't even go that far. So you know what I mean? So what's wrong with the way that I wear my clothes? What's up, Nina? Oh, you know what though, Nina? This is where you gotta keep belief, okay? You gotta keep belief. This is why I feel like Micah saved everything on a flash drive, hard drive, memory stick. I don't care. I guarantee you, she had to have listened. She understood the situation she was getting into. Okay? When we like, especially check out the last show. If you've missed the last live, Go check out the last live because we went into it. And I'm telling you right now, when we were reading those documents, I made a short video about it. It's Go to my video section, my tabs, go to videos. It's like the second, or I don't know, fifth, sixth video. Why I feel Micah had a flash drive. I show the documents, I show what was written. And I'm telling you right now, that person, the way that, I mean, this is the unbelievable strength that Micah had. Because when you have, listen, when you have that kind of information and you know it's very powerful information, when you have that kind of information, you understand the situation because you understand the players in the game. Why do you think she went to her family and said, if it has something to do with a bullet in a certain spot of the body, it had to do with a certain two initials? You understand the situation that you're in, but you're thinking about everybody else just like Micah did. She was thinking about all of those people that she not only was going to save today, but she was going to save in the future from all the BS that was going to keep happening if she didn't expose this stuff, right? Understanding the situation, it's not about us, it's about everybody else. I understand. I'm telling you right now, you have to believe when you're in that situation, you're backing it up, and you're not only backing it up, but you're giving it to somebody and you're saying, keep this if something happens to me. Because if you're going to your family in the court papers, you can read them. If you go to the last live, if you're going, even the video, if you're going to your family telling them that if something happens, this is who has something to do with it. When it's about emails, financial records, who's who controls what, hello, you know damn well. Because I put myself in other people's positions. And if I was in that position right there, I guarantee you it would be about everybody else. It would be about those future people. It would be about collecting and copying and giving it to the person that I trust the most. Because the person that I trust the most is going to be the one to not even put it in something and treat it with tremendous worth, because she also understands the situation that you're in. So you have to believe and have hope. I apologize. You have to believe and you have to have hope that there was a backup, that it was handed to somebody, and that that person was able to give that information to the proper people. Now, we heard the FBI they weren't investigating her passing, right? They jumped in and started investigating something else. You see what I'm saying? You have to believe. When it comes to the purse, I have an interesting thing about the purse, and we're going to get into that tonight. I know I brought it up before. I said, when it comes to the purse, why would the fisherman leave, not drop the purse off, not contact the park rangers? I mean, you see the damn office as you're leaving the damn park. It's off to your right as you're leaving. Really, it's just 10 seconds right there. You leave. Now, why would you need to go home to check a purse? Because according to you, you didn't open it. You just grabbed it, put it in your boat, and went to the ramp. Oh, wait, you looked around a couple times before you did it because you knew something was wrong. And the bag was past the body, so you would have had to see the body to get the bag, buddy. Just saying. You know, the path that leads right to the bag. Right to the bag. Okay. You don't need to go home to look in a purse, do you? No. All you have to do is go to your truck and look in the purse, right? There's a reason why he didn't go through the purse in his truck. There's a reason why he didn't drop it off at the fucking office or say anything when he left with the purse, correct? You know why? Because he wasn't allowed to open the purse. And what he had to do with that purse is he had to meet somebody. That's the only reason why you don't check the purse and then return the purse after you check it. Because if you checked it in your bag or in your truck and you saw there was all $500 in the purse, you would have dropped the purse off at the office when you were leaving. But instead, you left with the purse. You don't need to go home to get into the purse because you can get into the purse in your truck. But what you do need to do is if you're meeting somebody, well, then you need to leave with the purse and you can't check the purse in the truck because somebody else needs to look in the fucking purse to see if there's a flash drive in there, right? So when somebody opens the purse and says, "Oh shit, there's not a flash drive, Jimmy," then the guy that collected the purse takes it back to the park ranger's office, turns it in, and lets them know what he saw. Now, how would that guy notice the bag but not her if the bag would have been after her according to his story? Why, if it only takes 6 minutes to walk from the parking lot, 6 to 8, to walk from the parking lot to where her body was found, why does it take an hour to even say, "Hey, this is where she's at. This is where I found the bag"? Do I think that the fisherman had anything to do with the events that took place? No. Do I think the fisherman just was mainly to get the bag? Wasn't even looking? Because I'm telling you right now, that fanny pack that they call a fanny pack, how in the hell you gonna see that in that swampy woods, even in the daytime? Because I've been there. And even in the daytime, it's hard to make out a log. Because back in those woods, it gets dense, it's dark, it's murky. Even in the daytime, it can get pretty dark. Murky, water looks like oil, stale, and you're supposed to see a bag from the trail. And if you got in there from a boat, how in the hell are you saying that the bag was found, that a trail leads right to the bag? If but I thought you was in a boat. But then all of a sudden you're talking about walking there. What, huh? You went there in a boat, but you're talking about how you get there on foot. I don't understand. There's a lot of things that don't make sense. What's up, Lisa? What's up, everybody hopping in? Thank you. Under the mystic moon. Oh, we're going to be getting into it. Trust me. I'm going to be talking a little bit about it tonight. That'll be in the deep dive. We're going to be breaking that shit down. Because you know what? Somebody's got to make it make sense. Nina, that's why I'm saying, Nina, I'm believing. I'm believing that there there was a storage device. I'm believing that that information was copied, because you got to think about it with your phone. What's most of the information going to be? It ain't going to be paper copies, y'all. It ain't going to be paper copies. That's what it's going to be. So I'm telling you right now, when I guarantee you 95% is going to be taken with this. 95%. That hopefully, and I'm sure it is, and I'm sure it was bloop on a storage device, copied. Hey, you're the only person I trust. You're the only person I trust. This is just me putting myself in this situation. If this was me, I'd reach out to the person that I trusted the most and I would say, I need to do this. This isn't about me. This is about not only people right now, people in the future. I trust you. If something happens to me, open it up. Open it up. Open it up. If something happens to me, let that dove go. Let that dove go. Contribution call out. Give me 1 second, right? If something happens to me, let that dove go. Nina, 4.99 super chat. Thank you for all you've done to keep Micah's case alive. Thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. The system may have failed her, but we aren't giving up on her. That's correct. And you know what? Micah's law. Because there's one thing that I've experienced as I've been there out on location. There's one thing that I've experienced and started to learn and understand is that these laws for females are ridiculous, man. Like I'm telling people, we're not Model Ts aren't getting pumped out on the assembly line. This isn't the 20s. This isn't the 30s. This is 2024. This is 100 years later. 100. Come on. Let's update our laws for the females there. You know what I'm saying? So you get to reading them, people, and some of them are just like, this is disgusting, right? Right, ladies? This is disgusting. Jennifer Powell, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker contribution call out. It's the Tweety Bird with the heart kiss. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And thank you for the contribution. It's what allows me to get back and forth to be there at the protest and to be there at Lumber. We're going to be going back to Lumber River State Park here soon. We got some other footage while we were there, some different spots. Um, Even though we ain't at that protest, we're still doing different things. It's all about Mike. I appreciate that. JP. Yeah, yep. We went into that last show too. And the fact that he's using those excuses, isn't that the most gaslighting part of it all? Is using those excuses. It's like you read his reasons why he wants them sealed, and you sit there and go, bro, you've already said this shit. You've already put this shit out there. What are you talking about? Like, you're the one that discussed her medical. You're the one that said she had criminal acts that she was committing against you. I mean, have you heard the latest one? Where he says he's being extorted now? Have you heard that one? Now he's being extorted. So first he admits to doing things. Yeah, I did this and I did this. Then he says, I didn't do that. In fact, the making all this shit up about the family. Then he starts talking more about her medical history. About how she's the one that followed him and she's the one that put tracking devices on his vehicle and she's the one that was doing all of these things, and y'all are gonna see. Y'all are gonna see. 350. 350. And then you read these, I don't want her reputation to be ruined because of all this stuff that's going to come out if these documents aren't sealed. And it's like you're like Bill Thompson saying the defense is trying to spread misinformation with a questionnaire. Bro, you're the one that put it out there in the first place. What are you talking about? I don't understand. Now he's being extorted? What the hell is going on? You know how I said it's like Murdaugh and Dave Bell mixed together with a little David Koresh? A little hint of David Koresh and Dave Bell and Murdaugh mixed together. Is he not acting like Alex Murdaugh? On the side of the road, somebody tried to shoot me. Oh my gosh. Somebody trying to shoot me. Doesn't it sound like that freaking dramatic anymore? Where now his bullshit meter is already full. It's coming out of his ears. People are like, oh my gosh, he stinks. And now I need to set up my cousin to like come, hey, shoot me. Shoot me. Shoot me. Ah! Right? Oh my gosh, somebody tried to shoot me. I was just changing the tire. What? Now he's being extorted. Oh my lord. Contribution call. What the hell? Seymour, what's the 999? Let me see here. 999 super sticker wrecked. I've never seen that one. Oh shit. The hungry hippo. He's just passing out and his freaking chair fell apart. What'd they do? Make some new ones? I haven't seen that one. Thank you, Seymour. I appreciate that. Somebody try to shoot me. It's getting ridiculous. What's up, Yoli? Yoli, famous Yoli, Yoli, Yolo. I live in low country of South Carolina, and it's just like the right. I mean, it's like him, Daybell, like him, Daybell, and some David Koresh, all all mixed together. Extortion, who? Yeah. Ooh, clinicals. Shout out, getting that career. All right, let me share these real quick with you guys, and then we're gonna get in to the topics of the evening. Let me see here. And thank you all for joining. I appreciate you very much. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. It is the free way to help out. All right. So here's the first thing we're going to share. Let me see here. Let me move myself over a little bit. This is the petition. So I do have to cut the link off a little bit, but it still works. Okay. It's got the 10,000 signature goal. And we just keep going. I mean, come on, 8,451. There's more people in Myrtle Beach. There's got to be more people in Market Common. Come on. Sign the petition. All you have to do is click on it and sign it. It ain't that, and it helps bring awareness to these laws here, okay? If you aren't able to click and you're just watching from a stream, do me a favor and scan this QR code, and that'll work too. And then that'll take your device to where you can hit a signature. And even if you don't live in South Carolina, the signature does make a difference because it does help bring awareness to it. So please, no matter where you're at, please just hit the link, copy the QR code, and just sign it real quick. It's just to bring awareness. It's a petition. There you go. Good old USA. All right, here's the next one. QR code again. I want to share that real quick. Take a screenshot too. That way you can share it with your friends. Yes, let's get those signatures from Micah. Micah's Law. All right, we're going to share this one next. And let's drop that. And just like every show, we're going to share all of these. So take screenshots, come back. We always have it in the intro. Here's this one. Here's that one. Remember 2632 for the Venmo. What's up, Tiffany? And then justiceformicah.com, where you can explore the website, donate, memories gallery, law, memory wall. Beautiful site. Beautiful, beautiful site. And that's a great picture too, right there. That's awesome. Yes, and share it on your social media platforms as well. All right, so I want to share. Oh, this picture from JLR, I can't help it. It makes me think of the Stewart picture, Hold on one second. I got to drop this so I can pull it up real quick. Cuz this shit, where did I put it at? There it is. Oh, shout out Katrina. Hold on. All right. That way we can share them both. Let's see. It's good shit. But one thing I do want to mention real quick before we do get into the show. Now, uh we were reaching out to, remember we were having conversations with Tammy for, I don't know, I think it's been a week and a half now. I think is when we were having conversations. I don't remember. The days blend in together anymore. But anyway, we were going to have her on the show so she could discuss uh like to give her a platform, all right? And with me being, we were going to do it on Wednesday. Now with everything that I'm doing at the protests, the drives, and all that other stuff, it didn't allow me to be able to sit down and for a few hours and be able to record uh, a show. And so that's why we were going to wait until Wednesday. But I do want to say, shout out to Cassie. Hold on one second. Let me share her channel real quick. She actually had Tammy on. When was it? Let me see. This is her channel. She had Tammy on. Here it is right here. She actually, so you can actually just go ahead and go to the channel, and then here's the videos here. Let me actually go big screen on this. I apologize. Let me do this. Hold on. I don't want to like block. Okay, there we go. Okay. So she actually had Tammy on. So this is when Thomas got on her show right here. Okay. Part O Thomas and then O Thomas part 2. This is when so it was yesterday. So Tammy got on her show yesterday. So instead of me doing a show on Wednesday and really it just being the same conversation or whatever, there's the link to her channel, and then that is here. Let me just go full screen without me so you can see. There you go. So you can actually see that's when he came on, and then that's when she came on. So there's the conversations, there's the story. Shout out to Cassie for doing the show and hosting both people. So if you want to go check out the conversations, go ahead and check out those videos right there. There's 4 of them right there. And here's the YouTube channel again. So here's that. And I still have to check them out. I haven't even checked them out yet. I just I heard that she was on there, and I haven't even got to watch them myself. So uh I did hear the story already. Tammy and I had already had conversations regarding everything. So we had already discussed those things already. So I already know pretty much everything. I just haven't been able to watch the channel and see the show. So, and then there's that link for you. What's up, Bougie? 109. So you can go check those out there. I did want to say that real quick. Now, shout out to JLR. This picture's funny as hell. This picture is funny. Look at this. Oh, hell no. That's good stuff. Now, his name is JP Karen. He's known for calling the police on people making outlandish claims, right? Extortion. Extortion. We're going to get into that tonight. We're going to get into that tonight. Hey, where'd that come from? Whoops. Sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to do that. Ah, okay, there we go. Yeah, shout out JLR. Appreciate that. I have I've been at those protests and I don't know I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Hey, shit. And by the way, if you'd like to register to become a member at Solid Rock, here's the church membership process right here. Yo, hey, it's my first day back in the studio. I'm sorry. What, I can't. It's a little slippery, you know. I'm used to like being out in a lawn chair and doing the show, you know, from a TV tray. I'm back at the desk, you know. There's a whole bunch of tabs on here, and sometimes shit just I don't know. I mean to do oh shoot, I mean to do something and then something crazy happens. Whoops. But yeah, attend pizza with the pastor. Listen to our core values and meet with our and meet with meet with our administrator, Trisha Ross. Let her help you find a place to serve at Solid Rock that fits your soul and personality. We love making serving easy, fun, and effective. The website is back up, people. Pastor John Paul Miller spent his teenage years playing the piano in churches as well as nightclubs. Oh, nightclubs. Oh. He thought church was for fake people who were one way in public and another way behind closed doors. What do you mean, buddy? Like your papa was a preacher. What'd you do? Come off the street? What? Like, what do you mean? I thought church was for fake people who were one way in public and another way behind closed doors. Like somebody had just observed it from beyond. I forgot Thug Life. One day in his mid 20s, he gave his life to Jesus Christ. What? I thought he was part of the church since he was born. In 2006, John Paul stepped out in faith and started his first church, Solid Rock Ministries, in the Soskatski Library. His first sermon was 6 minutes long because he only knew one scripture. His first congregation was his family, a few friends, and several former drug-related... Thug Life! Oh my gosh. What is this? What is this? What? What is this? Are you serious? His his first sermon was 6 minutes long because he only knew one scripture. Bro, you're around that shit since birth. What are you talking about? His and his first congregation was his family, a few friends, and several several former drug-related acquaintances. Several. This is crazy. Where does this go? This is crazy. This is nuts. Pastor John Paul, PJP. PJP. Oh my gosh, I just been called him JP the whole time. I need to call him PJP. Has been involved in the music department of churches all across the Grand Strand area before starting his new church, Solid Rock at Market Common, where he has pastored since 2016. But I thought his first sermon was at a library, Solid Rock Ministries, in 2006. So what? Just because they bought a new building, now all of a sudden it's 2016. Okay. PJP has 5 children. PJP and his wife Micah have a heart to love God and love people. The welcoming, real, and approachable attitude is what has won the hearts of everyone who attends Solid Rock at Market Common. Wow. Oh man. Wouldn't it be like fitting if you had like a tribute to your wife right here? Yikes. Who wrote that? Trisha? What's up, Gigi? What's up, Bev? This is several related. Let me get this right. Several former drug related acquaintances. So, what's up, Heather? So, you had a gang, the Sockatoos, and hey, mom, dad, brother, sister, come hang out with me and my dealer buddies. And let's go to the library and let me just sit there for 6 minutes and recite a verse, and then that was it. It sounds more like a dare. I dare you to go to the library. Yeah, like you're hanging out with your rug buddies, right? And one of your rug buddies says, "Oh man, I dare you to I dare you to get your mom and dad, and we go to the library, and you just speak a verse like you're a preacher. I bet you won't do it." The fuck I won't, man. All right, yeah, let's see it. All right, man. Boom. That sounds like you 6 minutes long because you knew one scripture. It takes longer to eat a value meal at fast food restaurant. Like a dare. Right. Like I bet you won't do it. Yeah, I'll call my mom and dad right now. All right, all right. Docu-series The Fall of the Cabal. I've never seen it. It just don't make sense. All right. This is, I want to say shout out to, I think it's, I always see him out there. And Reverend Millie Joy too. I'm going to share her link. I see them out there a lot. Here's this one. This one is I think the iPhone, yeah, the iPhone guru.
From this godly world that we live in.
So this guy comes out, and this is what I was saying. When he came out, and you can go to my live stream, I'm not going to take up all that time, but seriously, you can go. It's after the service. I talk about it in the show. You see me pan over there. I'm zooming. I even zoom in with my phone. I upload it. Then I'm still sitting on the side. It's when I'm hanging out on the side after service is done. This guy is sitting here doing this. Everybody's over here. That's when you hear the lady, CJ, this lady wants to talk to you. This was like maybe 5 minutes after this started. It might have been longer, actually. Um, but yeah, he was just standing there. Then the Jesus came up, wanted to pray with him. He was like, "Get off the property. We'll have you arrested." Didn't want nothing about it.
You can't hide from this godly world that we live in.
So, all right. I'm not really interested in hearing the screaming and shit, because there's somebody just saying some crazy ass shit. But there's the link, the iPhone Guru. Now I want to share this. This is Reverend Millie Joy.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So she's getting C&Ds. She's an amazing person. She's out there every protest. She's doing an amazing job. I think she's got a husband, beautiful people. Definitely need your support. So if you are on TikTok, head over there, give them a follow. If not, even watching their videos helps make a difference over there. So shout out to those two. Now, when it comes to that lady, if you haven't seen that video, let me share this with you. Hold on. So if you go to my video section, here's that flash drive one right here. Here, I'll click on this real quick. If you want to watch the flash drive video, this is, I don't know. I go through the articles. It just makes sense. There's that link. And then this is that one where that lady was talking, but this is only like 8-minute version. Okay. But if you go to the live, you'll see. I just shut it off because there's a lot of interruptions and stuff, and people weren't able to like finish what they were saying. So I ended up shutting the video off for this upload. But on the live show, you can hear the conversation that still happens. You got to be out of your, like, would you guys bring the protest inside there? Really? Like, how gullible do you think people are that they're going to bring a protest inside so everybody can be arrested and you're gone? It makes no sense. All right. So this is a video from May 2nd that I'm going to play with you. Loved ones grieve amid the investigation. There's got to be some accountability. This is an oldie but goodie.
Morning after the unexpected death of a local pastor's wife. ABC 15's Mike Owen has been working for you to learn more about the life and death of MicaMiller. He joins us now live outside their church in Market Commons. So, Mike, what have you learned today?
Micah's friends tell me that she led women's ministry and worship right here at Solid Rock Church. While the death investigation is ongoing, her friends can't believe she's gone and they want answers. But her husband tells me she had a long struggle with mental illness.
Isn't this crazy? This was May 2nd. And he's coming out with why I want it sealed. Because I don't want this misinformation. I don't want people to think bad about her because of her. She said, I don't want them to know. Shh, that's not what shit. That's not what they were saying. They wanted us to take the efforts inside. Whatever. They took the honking away. You guys heard it first on our show. 230, 220, 230 tickets for people honking. That's why We couldn't hold the signs up anymore that said honk for Micah. We couldn't do it no more, which is understandable. Okay. Like Ellie has been totally awesome. Ellie has been totally awesome. Okay, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I get it. They're not asking us to stop saying justice for Micah or any of the other stuff we're saying. They're not saying we can't say this. They're not saying we can't say that. They're not saying we have to be quieter. They're not saying anything like that, okay? They're not. They support us. And so when they say, hey, we can't have honking, 220, 230, hey, we get it. You know what I mean? She wanted to make it seem like everybody could come in there that was protesting. You know what? You know exactly what would happen. You'd be kicked out. You'd be removed. Then you probably wouldn't. I mean, think about it. You already start the process of not being able to be there. Come on. There's a way to do it peacefully, and there's a way to do it with other intentions, and it's always about doing it peaceful. Yeah, Jay, give me 1 second if you want to call in. Hold on. My pleasure. $5 super chat contribution. Call out. My pleasure speaking with you and sharing my story. No, thank you. Appreciate it very much. Thank you for the $5 super chat. And thank you to everybody that shares their stories because, man, we're just there to try and help the community, you know? Technically, it's honking. Air horns. No, we didn't have air horns. There was some buttons that you could hit, you know, but nobody was really doing that. It was just justice for Micah with the megaphone. What's up, Nana? Hold on, let me see here. Now we're gonna listen to this JP here real quick.
MicaMiller died last week in the Orem community. The investigation into her death started at Lumber River State Park on Saturday. The Robeson County Sheriff's Office says they're actively investigating how the 30-year-old died. Her friends remembering how she lived her life.
She had a heart for missions. When she went to Africa this time, she just fell in love. That was her heart. She'd do anything for anybody.
She's survived by her husband, the pastor at Solid Rock Church in Myrtle Beach. He says Micah dreamed of opening up a school in Africa and was always giving to others.
She was probably the greatest wife anyone could ask for. She was incredibly affirming. We spent every night together for hours, just talking and talking and talking. You never let me.
So, what the hell, StreamYard? Did it just close out my shit? What the hell? That's weird. Yeah, this interview, right? Hold on 1 second. All right. Let me see here. Fake crying. Sorry, I don't know what happened with StreamYard there. Fake crying.
She had a heart for missions. When she went to Africa this time, she just fell in love. That was her heart. She'd do anything for anybody.
She's survived by her husband, the pastor at Solid Rock Church in Myrtle Beach. He says Micah dreamed of opening up a school in Africa and was always giving to others.
She was probably the greatest wife anyone could ask for. She was incredibly affirming. We spent every night together for hours, just talking and talking and talking.
Spent hours all night just talking and talking and talking. Right? Just talking and talking and talking. Oh, yeah? You were served divorce papers? Yes, yes. When was that? Just a couple days ago. But we were, remember, because he just got divorce papers. He just caught his wife kissing somebody else, right? Tire pop.
Giving to others.
She was probably the greatest wife anyone could ask for. She was incredibly affirming. We spent every night together for hours just talking and talking and talking.
Is he talking about Susie? Oh, he's talking about Susie.
She was probably the greatest wife anyone could ask for.
Susie.
She was incredibly affirming.
Susie.
We spent every night together for hours just talking and talking and talking.
Miller says her death was a suicide, but a cause of death has not been released. But many of her friends are struggling to come to terms with that.
This has to be at least looked into deeply. There's got to be some accountability here because, it's a tragic life was lost, and it's not just as simple as somebody had some mental issues.
But Miller says Micah battled mental health issues for years, even speaking openly about it to the congregation.
She had struggled with suicide before, and each time, helped her through it, took her to her doctor, and we got through it, and everything was fine. And she even gave a few testimonies here at church. We have on video of times where she.
We have on. Hey, I'm just letting you know we got it on video. Just letting you know.
And she even gave a few testimonies here at church. We have on video of times.
We have on video
where she had battled suicide, but God took care of her and got her through it.
For families dealing with mental health issues, the pastor at Solid Rock Church has a message.
The second you see any type of sign, get them to a doctor. I mean, the second you see it,
what's up, Nick?
Don't wait.
A memorial for Micah will be held this Sunday at 3 p.m. at Solid Rock Church. A group of her friends will also be meeting there at 9 a.m. to hold a Justice for Micah rally to bring awareness to her struggles. Connor, back to you.
So here's the link to that, May 2nd. Body found in a substation. Okay. We're talking about Micah. Wow. Shout out JLR, but we're talking about Micah. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate that. Yeah, and then the way Trisha was. Picture with frickin' Randall they're tripping Kenya. You know why Randall was there, right? Do you know why Randall was there? This is why there's a picture of Randall and Micah in the background on that trip. Because when I said that I felt like there was a hard drive, I felt like there was a hard drive. I felt like before it even got to that point where it was kapooey, I feel like Micah might have said to JP, act right, man. Right? You look for the good in people, right? So you got the shit. You got the shit on the flash drive. You said, act right, even before the flash drive. Act right. Otherwise, Come on, man. I gotta do this. I believe in you. Act right. Just act right because this is what I got. So I bet you, this is just speculation. I bet you that Randall was there because he was trying to lighten the situation between Micah and JP. Micah, JP's like, fuck, dude, she's got me in a corner. Fuck, dude, she's got me in a corner, Randall. What does Randall do for JP? What has Randall always done for JP? Randall, go to Kenya. Try and soften it, okay? Try and make it, if anything, try and get the information of whatever she's got. What has she got, Randall? Find out what she has. Try and soften the animosity towards me because she's got me in a corner, bro. You know what I'm into. I know what I'm into. Randall, go soften the situation between me and her. Try and find out what she's got, dude. That's why Randall was there. My opinion. And the fact that they want to. Is there any photos? Because I guarantee you, if they have photos of this room that are recent, I guarantee you that picture ain't sitting there. I guarantee you that picture isn't even hanging up on the damn wall. Probably was just made right before the interview. And they used that picture to. What the hell? They used that picture to make it seem like he was close to her as well. Something. Have a great night too. Thank you. Something don't. Oh, I'm sure SOC Rebel. It's like I felt. What's the safest way? Because she was getting ready to expose him. What's the safest way to expose somebody? Yeah, anybody can find you somewhere else, but how hard is it gonna be to track your ass in another country compared to tracking them in your backyard? Let's be real. There's logistics in between. There's logistics that you don't have to a backyard. I've always said I felt like that was part of because you had to feel comfortable. Listen, where's South Africa, yo? South Africa is way the fuck over there. It's like on the opposite side of the globe compared to us. Let's come on. We're at the northern part, they're at the southern part. We're on this side of the globe, they're all the way fucking on this side of the globe. Like it's probably like the most farthest away you can literally be. I mean, completely. They have winter time right now. They're in winter. Way over there. It had to be a safe spot. What's up, obsessed? Oh shit. What? I think you might be in the wrong show. Thank you, Mythical. Appreciate that. Here, let me I did talk about him claiming he's being extorted. So here's a video from a Tough Topic, and I'm going to play this for you real quick here.
All right. Murder Beach Police and Fire, this is Ashley.
Hey, Ashley, I am being harassed on social media, as well as people texting, these families texting horrible lies about me, and going to people's work saying things about me and trying to extort me and all this other stuff. Who would I talk to about this?
And do you know these people that are doing this, or is it just sort of like rumors spreading around?
Yes, it's my wife and her family, or soon to be ex-wife and her family.
All righty. And what's your name? Myrtle Beach Police and Fire, are you having...
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Tough Topic. My name is Brittany. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. And the MicaMiller case is not fizzling out despite law enforcement putting a pin in the investigation. And as a matter of fact, I feel like there's so much more insight now, which I have shared a lot of it in my previous videos of new findings, evidence, and footage of what could be useful for the FBI. But what will really help MicaMiller's family with their wrongful death lawsuit against John Paul Miller? A lot. John Paul has been on a streak of proving his innocence and clearing up lies through a
He's creating more contradictions is what he's doing. He's creating more contradictions. We're going to finish up this video here real quick, just a couple more minutes.
Series of videos on social media. So far, he has not cleared up any lies and has provided no proof except for a funeral home receipt of what he has paid for. But we now know that JP is actually afraid that more and more details about the relationship with Micah will be exposed. An investigative journalist, Gavin Fish, he shared a 911 call that has been obtained just a few months before Micah's death. He calls 911 to report that he's being harassed on social media by his soon-to-be ex-wife's family. He said that people were trying to text horrible lies about him, trying to extort him, and who does he need to talk to about that? He gives his location, and the call does not disclose of what else happens after that. But JP clearly was backed into a corner. He had everything to lose. His reputation, not that it was all that great in the first place, but his church, his leadership, his power, his friends, and the biggest of them all, his money. So after JP harasses Micah when she goes to her sister's house to get away from him, and let's not forget about the photo JP released to a fetish Facebook page and tagged her profile on it. And now he's the one being harassed. The saddest part about this is just a month later, Micah passes away. After his dirt and things that he was doing to Micah were about to be exposed. How ironic. As of right now, Micah's dad, Michael, is still trying to get justice for his daughter. However, he does call for all journalists, content creators, investigators, PIs to no longer post anything online with anyone except for the FBI. Just because you requested an FOIA release doesn't mean you should post it online, he says, in an accusatory way. He says that social media is damaging the case in its entirety.
Frickin' StreamYard. Let's be honest, Gavin Fish did it the right way. If he's paying for the Freedom of Information request, then why not have it set on a Patreon? Okay. The stuff that's not available, because anybody can go to Fitz News. Anybody can go to Fitz News. So the stuff that you can't get without paying for that, well then yeah, then it's a collective group effort. You do it. What's the difference between me and the group throwing in on a book to read for you guys? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the difference? It's the same kind of thing. Not a big deal. I think she's going to be a very important person when it comes to everything. You know what I mean? I'm going to show you a video in a little bit.
Integrity when used in that manner. Your prayers and support is the biggest help that we can get right now. So, with that being said, I personally will continue to share updates about Micah's case and anyone else involved, but I also don't want anyone to feel like they have to stop caring about the entire situation. It's all about your delivery and it's all about having respect for the family. But let me know you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss out. Bye for now.
All right, hold on 1 second. We'll pause it there. Let's see. Let's put this. Let's hit refresh on this. All right, there's that. And sign the petition. All right, hold on 1 second. Thank you so much for signing. All right, hold on. Let me see here. Now, I think somebody's going to call in. I'm just waiting here a second. All right. All right, let me see here. Now, I did want to show these to you. We're going to switch it up.
It's Jay.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello?
Hey.
Hello?
Oh, I'm here.
Hey.
I'm here.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're kind of a little muffled. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on, let me see if this is better. How's that?
Okay. A little better.
What's going on, man? Hold on 1 second. Let me switch this up so we can get Micah back up here.
Okay. Did you want me to call in on a StreamYard link or something or no?
I was gonna have the phone here.
Okay, well, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna throw this up here while we chit chat. What's going on, man? Thanks for coming out there yesterday at the protest. Appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey, thanks for. I actually want to thank you for being out there. I mean, really, it means a lot to the local community, especially you guys coming from out of town. That long drive. Excuse me. I just ate dinner. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. What'd you have for dinner?
Oh, well, we had my wife cooked. She grilled some chicken. We had some pasta with some tomatoes on it, some zucchini, and some squash. But my wife always does like a fancy dinner. She's great at cooking.
Sounds.
I told you I invited you over for dinner.
Shoot, I'm always too, dude. That's one thing you'll get to know. Like I just got time for work, man, because I ain't got no time. Ain't got no time. But no, thank you for coming out there. And what where'd you get the threads? Like that's some pretty wild stuff. I was looking at the threads. I'm like, dang, that's pretty spot on, man. Where'd you get the threads at?
I mean, I could give you a little bit of background, but it's probably too much. It's like fire hosing, giving too much information. You know, when only you come out of the desert, and you only need like a couple of sips. But
I got you.
I've been in production and art. You know, I'm a professional magician, actor, blah 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 blah. You know, I do set dressing. I've been in a lot of plays, dramas. I played Jesus in the Passion plays. I dress up. You know, at Halloween. You know, kind of everybody dresses up for Halloween. I dress up, you know, like Jesus and go out and
no,
talk
I
to
mean,
the children. You
dude,
know,
it was crazy because
I'm a kind of free spirit. I kind of do kind of my own thing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it was crazy because like I heard because I'm sitting there, you know, off to the left of the parking lot, and then I hear, "Hey, CJ," and I turn around, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like I was just like, "Whoa!" That's something you just don't expect to turn around and see, man. You know, I'm just like, "Whoa!" Double take.
When I put it on, it's like, you know, it's a character, you know, and I don't really think about what other people are thinking about what I look like. I'm just that person, and you know, I'm a Christian. I love the Lord. I'm thankful that you know, that my appearance resembles Him, even though we wouldn't recognize Jesus if He was here today. But
right.
I don't think anything's wrong with it, you know. I know a lot of people blasphemy and all that, but you know,
for real?
They're going to think what they want. You're not going to please everybody. You
Why
know,
would they? Why would they do
just
that?
me. I wanted to go out there for peace. I wanted to go out there and pray with people. I wanted to go out there and sort of. I wasn't really trying to make a statement. It was just. I had no idea. I just woke up and said, you know what? I'm going to put on my outfit and I'm going over to that church. And I've been avoiding, you know, I've been avoiding him for a while, and I've had some thoughts. I've been in prayer about it. It's a long story. I wish me and you had enough time to chat before I just jumped online. You know, I could, you know, show you some little things, you know, show you a couple of videos, tell you about my brief interactions. The reason why I'm involved with this thing, it's a long story, but just right now, I'm glad and honored that you're actually caring enough to even ask me to call, and I appreciate you giving me your number. And I keep my word. I said I would call you. I'm talking too much. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, man. No, it's a talk show. That's what we do, man. And I'm a host, and my duty is to let the guests talk. So if you want to talk, go ahead. Did you used to, and if you want to, you know, I apologize with, you know, with how busy on my end I've been to, like, overnight today alone. I was even going through my own stuff, like I was walking into a hoarder's room with everything that I needed to do today, and I'm just like, where do I even start, you know? So it was that kind of day. So I do apologize for that. But if you would, we could set, I don't know, are you busy tomorrow night?
With smart people. I own my own business. I do a lot of import export. I you know, talk overseas. Have a lot of clients, you know, all around the world. So, you know, I'm on my phone. When I literally say you can call me anytime, 24/7, I truly mean that, because I'm on my phone with, you know, Amman, Jordan, you know, China. They're 12 hours ahead of us. Amman, Jordan is 7 hours. You know, Iraq 9, Turkey. You know, so I sleep about 4 hours a night, brother.
Yeah, that's the same
and I'm desperately trying to do things so that I can retire here in about a year and a half.
Damn, lucky you. I got quite a bit to go, but lucky you, man. It's like, shout out. So I was gonna say, like, because I can literally be. I know I didn't have the time to go through everything, but I could have time tomorrow to be able to go through everything. And that's why I was asking if you were busy tomorrow night, because if you wanted to, we could literally have a whole night that's just dedicated to the story. You know what I mean? That way you have plenty
Sure.
of time to show, and we can screen share stuff at the same time as you discussing it or whatever. You know what I mean? So that way people can have the whole story of why you're there and why you're doing what you're doing. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't even able to check any of that stuff today, just because I even had
Stop
to.
apologizing, man. You are busy.
Yeah.
You're busy.
Yeah.
Your show, brother. You drove all the way here. You spent your time. You were at a pros test. You jump in your car. You drive all the way back home.
Yeah.
You barely get some rest. You get up. You're preparing another show. You got your life, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. I get it, brother.
I mean, but did you used to go to that? Did you used to go to Solid Rock at all, or is it just because I think you said like your son went to school with her or something? Is that right?
No, my nieces.
Your nieces.
My nieces
Okay.
went to school with Anna, and Michael was a little bit older, and he also went with his boys, Zach and them. I don't really want to mention names, but
Right, yeah.
But they went to school with him, and then when Michael was going through a hard time this past year or so, my niece knew them because they're in youth groups here. It's a very small community, even though there's a lot of churches, but the youth groups kind of reach out when they go off to Africa trips and different things like that. She never went to Kenya, but she did go on a couple of Africa trips. Some youth, like there might be 3 youth from this church, 2 youth from that church, 3 youth from this one from that one. They all get together. They raise money. We do different things. We go to the church and do like a chili cook-off, and that money goes to that youth to go. Right. I've been in ministry all my life. I in the church, Independent Baptist, and as a young boy, then I ended up teaching Sunday school. I went off to Bible college, came back. I started out as an usher. Then I was a Sunday school teacher, a bus ministry leader. Then I was a head greeter usher. Then I was a youth a youth minister. Then I was a youth pastor. Then an assistant pastor, and then a senior pastor.
Dang! Wow.
I don't look at and. But for the sake of the character, I'll keep my age to myself right now, although I'm not ashamed of it at all. And it's actually good if we can talk about the reasons why in the backstory tomorrow, so that we don't link the character and the backstory. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah. We'll talk more about it. Is that the first time you were out at the protest? Because I hadn't seen you. I mean, I've never seen you dressed like that. If you have you?
Yeah, no, it's the first time. My wife, when it first happened, obviously my wife was all of the story. My niece, she lives in California right now, in Los Angeles, and she was coming down for Mother's Day, and of course this happened, and it's literally right down the street from me. We don't live that far apart. So everything is out here on the internet, okay? So I'm trying to be cautious because I do have a family. I'm not afraid of anybody. I do not fear any man. I could care less about J.P. Miller. I'm not scared of that dude. I don't care. I mean, I would love to challenge him in a bare knuckle fight if he would.
What, the one where you got to do this? You got to do that kind of shit? I remember playing that.
That's my righteous indignation.
Right?
Okay, that's.
I'd just like to talk to him. Because well, no, I mean, it's like I told him, like, you keep doing these minute and a half clips. Nobody's gonna believe you. You know what I mean? Like you're just creating contradictions.
This guy, he says what he says he wants a show, right? Hey, Hey, how about Superman versus Jesus? You know, we'll start a whole stream, right? We'll have a come to Jesus moment and see who wins. I think Jesus wins in this one.
Yeah, Street Fighter Market Common. you got Jesus and Spidey going at it, right?
And then it's funny, you know, we've been hearing the wolf cry wolf a lot lately, right? I don't think anybody's heard that little. We need to start that little tag, you know, wolf crying wolf.
Yeah.
You know.
Are you coming back
That's
next
my
weekend?
story right there.
You coming back next weekend?
I gave Adrian a promise, and I will keep my promise, and I will probably bring me a big group with you. My son, if I can pitch in, but I'm not going to say anything because it's your show. But my son does have a YouTube channel, over 120,000 subscribers.
Oh,
so,
nice.
He's pretty popular in the area.
Oh, that's cool. What's his YouTube channel? I mean, we'll go. We're all about community, man. We share everybody, man. Yeah. What's his?
Yeah, it's called Shadow Network. He does videos and gaming and different things like that. That's where my RUN2J handle comes from. Is I had to start that. I was going to start my ministry online when I left my position. You know, you don't quite retire or leave it, you know, but God has a different direction for me right now. So this is the direction that He has called me. So I have not done anything with my channel. I just assisted him with his, and he's in college, and so he's kind of he's only doing maybe a video or so a month. He's going to get more, you know, back into it more, and you know, we actually started to do something. He's kind of transitioning from that. He's been doing it since he was like 14. So I think you might have met him out there. I think I pointed him out to you.
Yeah, I think you did. I think you did point him out. So just Shadow Network is what the channel is?
Yeah, but I'm giving a lot of information over the internet. But I don't care. Who cares?
Well, no, I mean, he was taking videos of you, wasn't he? At the protests, doing protest videos.
Yeah, he was just doing it, but it's not for his channel. He was just doing it
for you.
I mean, I may, like I said, I've had so many people ask me to, you know, to start a channel, and I just, you know, throughout the last 3, 4, 5 years, they say, Jay, you got to start a channel. And I'm like, just like you reached out, and maybe this is going to prompt me. I don't know. You know, who knows? But, you know,
it's
the
work,
Lord
man.
leads, that's where I'll follow. CJ.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, that's for sure. Like if somebody would have told me how much work it is before I started doing it, I would have did DoorDash or something.
Hey, well, does any of your people? I know that they had a zillion questions. I can't watch chat. You know, you asked me not to be on.
Yeah, I was just on your phone. Just on your phone. You can have it on your TV or something if you can see the chat. Or on another device, just with your phone, because then if you have YouTube on your phone and then you call, for some reason the YouTube chat on the video comes through on the call, and it creates like this humongous echo. That's the only reason why I asked you to close it out. But no, you can have it up on another device or something like that, and then it won't create like this crazy audio.
I just turned on my TV. It says successfully connected, but I don't see any chat yet. You'll just have to you just read them and ask me if you don't mind. I guess you do you, man. Tell me how you want to do.
Well, I mean, if you want to open it up to questions, if you have a question for him, just hashtag Jay, and then I can ask him if there's anybody in chat that does want to ask. Did you see the medical examiner preliminary report that came out?
No, I've been super busy today. I have followed just about so many things. I've got a pretty good memory. Actually, something you were talking about earlier interests me, and I wanted to throw something in. And I'm trying to think now what you were talking about. I was like, oh man, I wonder if he knows that. And it's escaped my mind by now. But no, I did not see the examiner's thing today. I haven't even turned the TV on at all. So
yeah.
I'm on my phone usually, so when I say TV, I put YouTube on in the background and kind of let it play.
Yeah, it had it was discussing the injuries or what was reported from the medical examiner. Hold on, let me share this real quick.
I see somebody saying, "Who's that?"
Yeah, I don't know.
JM1452. Are they talking about who am I?
Let's see here. Oh, I'm not sure. Where did that go?
By the way, just thought about something.
Yeah.
I love that stream of yours where you were. That was the best, CJ, man. That's where I started following you. I've actually caught a couple of your videos, and then when I saw you doing that video about when you were mapping and saying, "Hey, it has to do something in this area," you were tracking her or whatever. Do you remember that video?
Say that again.
I said that was great, man. That was great. You familiar with what I'm talking about?
No, which one are you talking about?
Where you were looking at her location and just through Gallivan's Ferry and up past Aner.
Oh,
you
yeah.
were saying there's a reason why that she decided to go this direction to the gas station. Remember?
Yeah, because there's like a small. If you're using Google Maps, there's there's a small area that is only taking you that way. Otherwise, you're going in another direction, literally less than a mile each direction.
Yep.
Yeah.
CJ, that was brilliant, brother. That was really thinking out of the box. I was like, you know what? Because I thought the same thing. I'm like, okay, she's going up to Lumberton. Okay. Now, if she's not familiar with that area, you would not go that way. Well, then, of course, we hear the rumor that, that he called Charlotte that next day after the service and said, oh, I thought she was coming up to see you. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is the way that you go up north, because when I go up north, up towards Virginia, New York, New Jersey area, I sometimes go that way. But you know what? I hate going that way because there's no cell reception. And that's another thing. Her phone was crystal clear. My wife and I, we discussed this being AI. Could it be AI? Could it be AI? Of course, she's like, no. It's too real. Everybody gives their idea about, well, look, she goes, spare blood, and everybody's using what she said in there to prove one way or another. But listen, it's either fake or it's not. And if it's fake, you can't use anything that's said in it.
I don't even think this is just me. I'm a Nirvana. The first thing I can think of is Kurt Cobain in the raspy voice. And when you're using extra emphasis on key words, if your voice is naturally raspy, the more emphasis is the more raspy that the voice is. And if you listen to the voicemail, the emphasis, the key words that get emphasized.
What's his name? Temple of the Dog. They have that rasp, that deep,
Well,
and then, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Even AI, there's a lot of songs out there now where you hear Kurt Cobain AI with Alice in Chains music, and it's like, dang, this sounds awesome. If it were, but it duplicates the raspy. So if it's AI, it would have duplicated the raspy. I'm looking at the call before even thinking AI, and I'm thinking it's somebody else, because where's the raspy on the key words that get emphasized? If you compare her testimony videos to the 911 call, and you listen to the raspy on the testimony videos, and you listen to the lack of on the 911 call, AI is going to create a raspy. And if there's no raspy, that means it's somebody else to me.
So here's the thing. And that is precisely what we're talking about, because they say they can't make the breath, they can't bring the emotions, they can't bring the raspiness of it.
Yeah,
But here's the thing.
Kurt Cobain.
People cannot understand something that they have no concept of it existing. AI that we don't know about, we don't have the concept of, 20 years ago, prior to my son being born, and then I don't know how old you are, but, we go, oh, there was no such thing as YouTube. And there was no such thing as, whatever, Netflix, or,
right.
When everybody was saying, oh, holograms or blue beam, public blue beam, or, or any of these things that we see and just take for granted today, it was not even in your consciousness. Yeah, you understood the words, you understood like the actual, oh yeah, okay, I know it's going to be something that's going to be in front of me like 3D, but I don't understand what 3D is. What does it mean? I'm going to be in a movie and I can reach out and touch it. I can hear that. I understand what that means. It makes sense to me, but I don't know what it actually means until you actually are there, seeing it, touching it, reaching out, going, man, I could almost grab that. See, it's the same thing with this AI. I actually believe that this is how it went down. Okay? Not that I'm saying this is how it went down. I'm saying this
speculation.
This is
that's what we are.
The way that it could have gone down. Okay.
Right. Yeah. What's up?
I'm calling right now. I'm talking to you on the phone. If I just like you have those microphones that give a different voice, you can change your voice. Yeah, whatever. The microphones that just change your voice. I'm talking about that's simple.
Right.
We're not talking about AI. We're just talking about simple. If I could be on the phone, you talk to me just right now, and I go, and you go, hi Jay, what's up? And I go, hey CJ, what's going on? As I'm responding to you, it's just changing my voice. And if I'm an actor, like he is I could have done what he does because I've done what he does. I've been on stage. I've preached messages. I know how to, to talk and get a laugh or get a response, from a crowd. Okay. And when he's doing that in his mind, when he's calling this 911 operator, I can't say this. I'm saying speculating here. Okay. Obviously I got to be careful. I have to remember I'm on the internet, and so I got to protect you and, but I'm saying if I was to call, I can act like that. I can be like, okay, let me do it right now.
Yeah, but
you ask me a question. Hey, where are you? And I go,
it can't happen because he was in a different spot. He was in a different spot. Can
you track my location? I know you're talking, but we got a little delay.
It couldn't happen. Number one, because he's in a different location. That's where his alibi is. He was with his girlfriend somewhere.
But he can be on the phone.
But anybody can get a voice. Anybody, yeah, but the thing is it came from a specific number, and the specific number was traced. And the specific number was.
But wait, you're forgetting something, because these are the little nuggets that are dropped. Okay, remember the 911 operator is saying, "You're not in Robeson County." Remember? Mm-hmm. Go back and listen to the 911 call. She says, "You're not in Robeson County." And then when she gives her the phone number, she goes, "Oh." Now she's tracking that number. See what I'm saying? I could call you from this phone and have what do they call the what is that thing thing that blocks and puts you on a different number?
Yeah, like
a VPN or whatever.
Yeah. Hold on.
No, and I can call and be from my phone right here, right now, and call 911 with VPN and use a different number.
Yeah, we're gonna check it out. Let me see this. Hold on here.
Let's see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're gonna check this out. Let me see.
The actual 911 caller says she's not in Robeson County.
Let me see. This is.
Well, I'm thinking, how do you call Robeson County 911 and not be in Robeson County?
Hold on. Let me see here. Trying to find it. Let me see. It's got to be in this folder.
Even September Pours says that. I'm looking at chat. I hadn't even thought to look at. And the thing Dawn says, she does say Fair Bluff. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say,
Yeah,
if
because
it's not her,
she mentioned Fair
whoever
Bluff.
was on the phone can say Fair Bluff.
Let me see.
You know what I'm saying? Because the person that's on the phone might not have known, as familiar with the area, just like me, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, she's asking me this question. I didn't think the 911 was going to ask me this. Fair Bluff? I could do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's taken me a while to try and find it. I have so much stuff here. Give me 1 second.
And Sarah's suspicion says I still think the two guys at the pawn shop were following her. And I've looked at them too, Sarah. I'm not, I'm not an expert, but you're right. They do seem very suspicious, except the Spanish Latinx guy. He didn't get anything. The other guy, the green shirt guy, he goes right in and goes straight over to the jewelry, to the office area. Everybody thinks that that's a second door out. That's not a second open door out of that pawn shop. Into the pawn shop, if you look at the time when he arrives at the 12:35 mark, and then you look on the inside when he walks through the door at the 12:35 mark, you see him go straight in. I've gone through all those, but I don't want to.
I don't think
this show would be 4.5 hours long if we started.
Well, I'm going to be going through that because I was going through that already, and I don't even think she was even followed in there, and that's just my opinion. I don't think she was.
Yeah, they do go out much later. But he does look at her. But obviously, she's a pretty girl, and guys here in the South are checking women out. All girls think that's weird, but you have to look at it and think, okay, let's check out human behavior. Just like her looking at the man with the little girl.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think she was looking at the child.
Maybe she was like, remember, because he even said, "Oh, I will have a child with you." Remember, so I think she was thinking about children at the moment. Am I cutting you off? I'm so sorry. I'm talking a lot.
No, you're fine. And no, I don't know. I was looking at it, and I don't think that she was being followed. I think people aren't looking at the eyesight angles close enough because there's a difference between looking down at a child and looking behind you thinking somebody's following you. And I'm just coming from as an individual where if I'm at a place of business or I'm out on location, I know when a female is being concerned that she is being followed, she's going to reach out. I think she would have asked if she really felt somebody there was following her. I feel like she would have mentioned something to one of the workers, because I've been in that position where I've been at a business and had a female go, "This dude's been creeping on me. Can you please walk me out to the store to make sure I'm safe?"
And she knows how to handle herself. Coming from inside of the church, I know I've taught all the the women leaders in our church, what to act, keep their antennas up, what to look out for, especially if they were single.
They're not going to be
or
laughing.
If they were in a place by themselves, because it's for the look of the church, and you have to be careful and cautious, knowing that this person going in, if you're going to go into an office and speak with somebody, have another female with you. If you're somewhere, look over your shoulder, make sure so that nobody is following you. If you're going to walk. So yeah, I kind of get that. And it didn't seem to me that she was too bothered by it, although with him tracking her and everything that went down from March the 11th all the way to April the 17th up until she passed on the 27th, she was done. She knew that she was being followed. And here's another thing, CJ. I just thought about this last night. They say, "Oh, she was having an affair. She was caught with this guy out on the beach, blah, 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 blah." You know what I was thinking? Maybe she was actually looking for a male to help her escape. because all her friends and family and female friends and all, just only give moral and
I think
and
the
verbal
Kenya was
support.
the
Maybe
escape.
I'm not talking about she did it on purpose, but I wouldn't think anything bad about her going, hey, let me befriend this guy and maybe he can be my protector. I mean, does that make sense? I don't know if anybody's ever thought of
No,
that.
I mean, it makes sense, but I think she was in a place where she was very confident and probably had a lot of confidence she had not had for a long time, being in the situation that she was in. And I think with her finally saying, I'm not taking this no more, it then brought in all of this confidence in her. And I think the Kenya trip was honest. I think the Kenya trip, because I don't think she was going to put. So when another female is going to have another male be a savior, right? To help them, then she's putting everything into him, and she would only do that with God. So I feel like the Kenya trip was actually what was going to give that safe security feeling that you're talking about, but I think it was going to be the trip and not necessarily another person. I feel like if it was going to be another person, she would have been real heavily involved with that person. That's why I feel like she was reaching out to a really good friend that she could trust when it came to the information she knew, because she knew what situation she was in. She told her family, if I end up with this and a bullet in this specific part of the body, this is who had something to do with it. You understand things might happen if you're really reaching out to your family, telling them that. You know it's a very good possibility. That's why I feel like she had a flash drive, a memory drive, gave her friend. Think about it. Who started working with the investigators right after? Her best friend started working with investigators right after.
Well,
who would have had the flash drive?
That there was an investigation prior to her final say la vie on March 11th. You know that, right?
Of course, there had to. I don't know about prior to that, because I wasn't. I don't know about prior to that, because that's them. I don't know what. You know what I mean? I don't work for any kind of law enforcement, so I wouldn't know that information. I just know what they said when they came out shortly after the passing and said, we're not investigating her passing, we're investigating financial activity. Okay. And that's why I'm saying I feel like she had a hard drive or a memory storage device, gave that information to somebody else, a copy of it, and said, if something happens to me, let it go, because I'm collecting this. If something happens, I feel like something might happen. I told my family specifically bullet, weapon, and where.
And I guarantee you, he said that to her. I guarantee you, he
probably.
said, hey, listen,
I'm gonna do
I
this.
know how to make you disappear. I could pull a bullet in your head, and no one ever think it was me.
I'm sure he would.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, man. I'm sure he would.
Came out of her mouth to somebody and said, you know what? If blah 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 blah, because if your significant other, spouse, is constantly berating you and saying, I'm gonna choke you out, or I know how to bear. Thing
I had to mute that for a minute, man.
Or what their particular threat, just like his chess, and her playing with demons, the word demons all the time and chess all the time, and you know what I mean? He thinks he's a master of chess, but I'm so sorry. I do not want to.
I already muted you when you were saying those words. I already muted you, so we're good.
You've got so many ideas that makes me want to have ideas, and it seems like we brainstorm pretty well.
No, just as a heads up.
Go ahead.
Hey, I just want to give you a heads up. If you say certain words, I already mute them on the show. So if you do say certain phrases, because you have to understand, there's a lot of things that we can all describe, but there's a certain YouTube has certain guidelines, and I can't allow certain words to be over the air. So I'm
like I
just
said,
giving you a heads up. You will be muted when
I
you.
know the rules. I kind of know where
No,
I
you're
get
good.
away
No,
with,
you're
but
good.
then
I'm just
again,
giving you
I
a heads
do,
up,
like,
man.
I stop myself.
No.
I get carried away.
I'm just giving you a heads
I
up.
get passionate about what
I
I'm
just
talking
wanted you
about,
to know
and,
that if you include
know.
those words, somebody might not hear that sentence that you talk just because of the words that were being used with it. That's all. And I wanted to let you know because I think it's important that when you are discussing things that people should hear the whole thing, but at the same time, I have to be respectful of community guidelines as well. And so therefore, just as a heads up, like certain things, certain phrases, I'll just have to mute. I already did it. Nobody even, and it wasn't like graphic people, but you know the words that I'm talking about. You know the words that I'm talking about.
I didn't actually say the words, did I?
Oh, there was some words, man. Trust me. I knew what was coming, and I already was on top of it. We're good. Trust me, I play chess.
Gotcha.
No, that's why I feel like she had a memory device. She knew this could be a possibility. She was very specific about it. I feel like she reached out. That's why I feel like they started investigating right away because something suspicious did happen. That's why I think so and so reached out to the best friend shortly after because hey, feeling around, seeing if there was something.
Here's the clues. Here's the clues.
Something in here.
They said the reason why Robeson County called the FBI and the FBI got involved was because of prior things that were brought to their attention. So
yeah, that's what it is.
I can tell you that there is an investigation going on before her passing. Okay,
well,
I can tell you that.
When it's something that's prior,
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, but the way that I'm taking something that happened prior is when she went because there's got to be a lot of pictures of a lot of shady stuff going on, man, and all that. Who knows? That could be stuff from 2000.
Yeah, well, see, that's the reason why the whole $1,199 thing came up, and then that police report of it being put into her account and claiming that she took it. See, all this is before her passing now. So what I'm telling you is all this was out there, and there was things that were happening is why he was trying to get her back. Okay, because he wanted to keep her quiet and thought that he could smooth her, and just like his video of like one of his last videos of his video of one of his proofs that he's got of her that happens to come, at a gas station following him because he finds this AI truck. Well, see, that's another thing. See, we're all talking about the trackers on her car, but I guarantee you because he said that she put that AI, Apple tracker, whatever it is, I'm sure he had that on her.
Oh yeah,
and then as
he's
well
blaming
as that
her.
car when he's doing that video of her. That is that day when she's doing a videotape of him, or not a videotape, but a recording of him at the gas station because
he was probably following
her car of when they got pulled over earlier, and she even in her report she says he followed me to the gas station.
Yeah.
So everything that he does is revealing all of his things. That's actually just more proof of what she's claiming happened.
He's contradicting everything. That's why I'm saying, people are like, why do you want to talk with him, CJ? Because it's like the more the dude talks, the more he really shows what the truth is, right?
Exactly.
You can't get the truth in a minute and a half.
Exactly.
And look,
and he listen. Let's just stop playing games. The guy is a narcissist.
Oh, of course.
He is a sociopath and probably psychopath, but he is 100% narcissist. I am not afraid to say that to his face. He is. He needs to hear that. He needs to repent of that. He needs to fess up to that because as long as he does not believe that that's what his problem is, he's not going to repent. He's not going to be normal.
I bet he wears that as a badge of honor, to be honest, man. I feel like he would wear it as a badge of honor if you If I bet you I wouldn't be surprised if he, hell yeah, I'm a narcissist.
Well, the reason why, and the reason why I even bring that up is to say this: a narcissist cannot shut up.
Yeah.
They cannot shut up. They have to toot their own horn. They have to give themselves, because they're so insecure that they have to constantly
Overcompensate.
justify their behavior.
Yeah,
overcompensate. It is a sickness. And the more he talks, the more he will mirror, the more he will, you hear these terms, mirroring, blah, 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 reflection, and all this kind of stuff. But everything that comes out of his mouth about her is him. And we all heard that, oh yeah, he just married. No, but it just think about it. That's the truth. We just need to stop playing the game and just go, you know what? Okay, yeah, he's saying it, he's revealing it, he's telling everybody, but there's because it's words, you can't arrest him on words.
No.
But his words reveal who he is by saying whatever he says about her. That's why I love to talk to him.
They're breadcrumbs.
I wouldn't be mean to him. I heard you talking about, hey, what's wrong with me? Why won't he talk to me? What did we do?
Why can't we be friends, man?
Like,
what's that? Why can't we be friends, bro?
About him.
Why can't we be friends? Like, I mean, look, we didn't know each other when there's conversation. Like right now, like this is the first conversation away from here. We didn't even get to talk earlier just because of how busy I was. Look, this is how the conversation would go. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, hey,
here, give me my number. You can give me your number, whichever. And then somebody called my name and I dropped the book. And you just held it on to it, man. That was pretty cool. I really appreciate that. But go ahead, finish your statement.
No, but when it comes to all of the stuff, I mean, shoot, we're going to be getting into it in the deep dive when it comes to, we kind of started to get into a little bit of it in the last few shows with the backgrounds and stuff, and the shadiness of it. And I don't think if they were doing some investigating, I don't think it had anything to do with what Micah or anybody that she would have handed off information to. I don't think it would have came from them. It maybe came from listen, there's a lot of people that there was a high turnover rate in that church. Other than the key players that were, inside the inner room core, and even people inside the inner room core still ended up getting tossed off to the side or removed. And these people, there's a lot of angry people. A lot of angry people that were leaving. They weren't leaving just because they weren't they didn't like the music that they were playing or something. These people were getting tossed out, removed, or leaving because they felt uncomfortable because their own dirt was being preached at them on the pulpit. So they made you uncomfortable, booted you, removed you.
Like that in New York on Long Island, dude. Yeah. I am telling you, it is
a lot of mad people.
I'm passionate about this is because I'm a pastor, or a pastor is a pastor, whatever you want to say. And to me, it is a slap in the face to even you. I know you claim you don't really have any religious affiliation.
150.
Sure you're a spiritual person. You love God. But I'm telling you, I've lived this. I know it. I see it. I came from a church like that where the pastor and I was the associate. Okay. And the congregation would come to me. They would trust me. They would talk to me. They would share things with me. They knew I wouldn't reveal them. And I would, I did what I was supposed to do. Just as a pastor would, or a priest, a doctor, attorney. I keep that commitment that you can talk to me and I can hold my mouth. Okay, and we can pray about this. And I do not see you in a different way. I'll see you tomorrow. We shake hands. Hey, how you doing? Great to see you. How's the family? Blah, blah, blah. And they have no idea, or the other people. So what I'm saying is they would come to me and talk and saying, the pastor said this, he said this, he preached this, he said this about me or whatever. And they would say, can you do something? So they were reaching out to me for me to say something to him. And when I would try to say something to him, I was on pins and needles the whole time, thinking I'm going to get talked out of this church, because I'm trying to help, and these people are coming to me with all these complaints, and they would just leave, and I would tell them, listen, this is honest truth. I was a leader of a couple of bus ministries in Long Island, in Sunnybrook, and in one day I went out. It was Easter Sunday. I went out that whole week and went and knocked on doors and invited people to church and said, if you got a bus, we'll come pick you up. Didn't care who they were, how old they were, how young they were. We'll come by and pick you up to go to church. I said, and then everybody that would come, we were going to have free food. And then afterwards, I was going to take them to, there was a little local fair there. And I was going to buy everybody 10 tickets apiece, right, at that time. I went out, and in one day, I mean, not in one day, but at one service through that whole week, I had 4 buses, okay? And I picked up over 249 people in one day that came for the first time to the church.
Wow.
All right? The only reason why I'm telling you that is because that church could not grow, and it was a huge church. That church could not get over 100 to 150 people a Sunday.
Mm.
And this, me, in one day, one service, I bring 249. But that's just that one service. All throughout the whole time that I was there, I would go meet people. They would meet me. Hey, you go to church anywhere? Blah, blah, blah. Hey, you come visit. I'd like you to come visit my church. And, I'm not sure over here. She's Sunday school and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Come on over and visit. They would come and visit, hang out, be there for, a month, 2 months, 3 months, and they wouldn't be there anymore. And then this happened over and over and over. And so I started complaining to the pastor, saying, listen, this is what would happen. I invite you, CJ. Now, don't take this. I'm just using you as an example. Is that cool? I'm going to use you as an example, okay? Hey, CJ, you go to church anywhere? And they go, hey, Jay, you're a pretty cool guy. What's different about you? Well, I love the Lord, and read the Bible, go to church, really have the joy of God in my heart, blah, blah, blah. Come on. If you'd like to see why I live the way I live and why I'm so happy, come try, go to church with me. You come to church, you say, hey, well, I don't know what to wear. I've never been to church. I don't really have, good clothes. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just giving you as an example, okay, just for this metaphor.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, that's
and I go, see, you come as you are, And so you come with your hat, like you got it, you come on with your shirt. And I'm like, man, this is cool. It's cool, right? So there's 3 of you like that in there, right? Got one guy with his hat on backwards, another one with the pants a little bit low, below his waist, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're all just normal, youth people, right? They come there, and the preacher got the message for that Sunday, but in that message, he's like, and you out there that don't come here respecting God, wearing your hats all backwards, wearing your pants down, what do you think that you and my other 3 friends that I invited that day are going to do?
You're not going to come back. It's just like when that lady told me, that I, dress for church. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not, what's wrong with how I'm dressed? I see, not that anybody dressed wrong, but I've already checked out. When I went there, I was wanting to go to some services. I wasn't allowed. So I got on YouTube and I checked out some of the services, and I could see people up there playing music dressed like I was. So to me, I was like, why is this person even telling me that I need to have church clothes on when I'm already, like, one of the people on stage had a backwards hat. I think it's awesome that, I think it's awesome that you can walk in, dressed like that, because it's not about what's on your back, it's what you're doing.
Looks. I'm just giving you as an example of what this guy would do. Somebody comes in and he would start talking about their tattoos or start talking about piercing their ears. He would come on a Sunday, and we would all be hanging out at the beach. And at this particular church, there was no mixed bathing. Mixed bathing means no women in bathing suits and no men in bathing suits together at a beach or a pool. And we would we'd all go to the beach, you know what I mean? And because we lived on Long Island, and we'd all go to the beach and just be us. And that would be breaking the rules. And then it would go through the church, and then it would come back to him, and his message would be on that Wednesday night, I can't believe in some of you in here, God is going to save you, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, I could just go on, but this is the kind that I call it ideology preaching. This, to me, is what J.P. Miller does in his services. I see it. I recognize this pattern, this behavior. It is very common now that I'm older. I went through it personally in a church. I literally, and this is embarrassing, but this will be the first time I say it to the national world, I was literally stood up at one time, and I mean, I was there. I helped that church build a Bible college, okay? I went up there on a sabbatical, was up there for 7 years, okay? I gave up my business. I was making over $1 million a year in my own business. I was an actor, a professional magician, gave that up to go there and work at this church, okay? And literally, when I had so many of my friends leave that I dear to my heart and was telling me, and I've had so many meetings with him and just would not listen. He did a sermon one Wednesday night, said that we're going to draw a line in the sand. Everybody that's with me, if you're not with me or against me, he preached this thing on Moses, blah, 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 blah. And he said, anybody that is not with me, stand. Anybody that's with me, move up to the outside. Everybody moved, and it was me and 3 other people that didn't move. He literally had the other ushers that I was the head usher physically come pick me up, 4 guys, and take me outside of the church and throw me into the driveway and said, don't ever come back. That literally happened to this guy here that's talking. So I know what these narcissistic, these arrogant, so-called wolves in sheep clothing, not so-called wolves in sheep clothing, so-called pastors, right? What they're capable of, who they are, and what they really do on the inside. And JP reminds me so much of that guy. And believe it or not, that guy's name from New York is Miller. I am not lying.
Well, I mean,
this was back in 1990. I think it was.
How'd you get 250 people?
97,
How'd you get 250 people together, man? Like, that.
I went and knocked on doors. I started out in Hauppauge, Smithtown. I went up to Massac, went to Bayshore, went to Brookville, went all the way up towards the Hamptons. I went to neighborhoods. I just knocked on doors, said, hey, we're going to have a Sunday service. You go anywhere if you like to come. We've got a bus. I'll send the bus over, meet at blah, blah, blah. We'll have the bus come here. And I just went door to 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 door and just did that. Yeah. Did that for a whole week. All 4 buses went to set up that bus route and had 4 buses behind each other. When one got full, it went back and we just kept on going my little route. And 249 people in one day. I actually got a cross man from that very church, from that pastor that threw me out.
Yeah.
Still with 249 visitors on one Sunday morning.
I just want to let everybody, he's not talking about Solid Rock. This is a church that he attended before. He's just saying he's familiar with the narcissistic tendencies of some of these, I'm just going to call them organizations. Some of these organizations, the narcissistic tendencies and kind of the arrogance that they throw around. Kind of like when that guy was kneeling down on the sidewalk and you went up there to ask him if you could pray with him, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I literally walked over, didn't know who he was, never met him before. I saw him over there. Actually, I think Thomas said, or somebody pointed him out and said, hey, I think he needs Jesus to pray with him or something like that. But I just heard, I think he needs prayer, right?
Yeah.
So I walked over to him and I knelt down and I said, hey, sir, would you mind if I prayed with you? And I'm not thinking about, I'm wearing a Jesus outfit. I'm not thinking about a circus clown, nothing like that. I literally, in my heart, just wanted to pray with the guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just want peace,
Well, I mean, that's what he was out there doing.
I do not like one side and the other side. I do not like that. I do not like the division. And I don't like seeing one side shouting at the other side. What's going to happen? You're rooting for a quote team, and you're not going to change sides because you're yelling your insults are bigger than my insults. Oh no, you know what? They win. I'm going to go over there. So I, in my heart, have been watching this and wanted to go and do something. I wanted to pray with whoever wanted to pray. And it didn't matter. I did not know that guy was on. I didn't know anything that was going on that day.
Yeah,
Nothing.
even
I
that
just went out there. If
lady.
you noticed in the video, I just went and I shook the cop's hands, told him thanks for coming. You know, if there's anything I can do or pray for you, just let me know. I walked over to every single person there. I didn't even pay attention to who was streaming, who had cameras. I didn't even know you guys were there. I did not know.
Yeah.
Even
that lady that was picking up those
and I went to ask him if I could pray with him, and the guy looked up and he was like looking at me with his hands, you know, on his mouth, and he's like, "You need to leave." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." I said, "Can I see your name?" He said, "No," and he said, "You need to leave my property or have you arrested for trespass." I said, "Are you seriously going to do that?" I said, "Can I?" I said, "Would you mind if I said I won't say anything else?" I said, "But do you mind if I just sit here and pray real quick?" He said, "You need to leave." So I got up, turned around, and walked away. Well, then after walking around, if you notice, I went back to him, and I actually stayed 4 or 5 feet in front of him because I said, "You know what? I'm not going to do this. I care about this person, you know." And I walked back and I kneeled in front of him and said a prayer for him out loud, you know, and then I left, you know. So
Well, it
that
was like
maybe
that.
15, 20 minutes later.
That lady that was picking up those signs, you know, when I was on the other side, because I think.
I've seen that lady before in a video.
Oh, really? I was.
I did not recognize her when I was first talking. I saw her talking with some of your people. I thought she was just out there talking.
Yeah, she was talking
to ask
to.
if she needed some help for me to.
Yeah.
I thought it was like over. So I was.
Well, I was
if she
asking
needed
her.
some help carrying something. I did not know that she was.
Yeah, she came out to pick up the signs, and I was asking her straight up because she kind of was giving everybody a dirty look. And I'm asking her, "Did you know Micah?" Like, I'm asking her, "You're giving these dirty looks to people." And so I'm asking her, I'm figuring, look, if they have you going out picking up signs, I'm sure you are somewhere where you're trustworthy, that you're not going to go out there and say some shit that maybe the church don't want you to. So to me, I'm like, you had to have known Micah. So that's why I was asking her, did you know Micah? Like, did you know her? And then that's when somebody else came up and started talking to her. I knew because she was looking at me in a kind of like squinty eye way look too, and I'm like, whatever, I know you know her. Why are you giving these people, because I'm coming from like, why are you giving these people a stink eye if you fucking knew her? Whether you agree with it or not, this is about Micah. Like, you wouldn't give a stink eye, you would just shake your head or something. You wouldn't be like all So I was surprised that she even allowed you to pray with her, considering because when he said that to you, like, how did he say it to you? Was it like a angry kind of way? Was it a arrogant way? Or was it a nice way? Like, what?
It was real strange. It was like a robot. It's like he was saying what he was supposed to say, to believe it or not. I don't feel it came from him because, like I told you, that's why I described what he looked like. It's like he looked up at me. He had his hands like he was praying, right? But he had his hands on his chin, his fingers on his chin, both hands together. I'm doing it right now with my phone. I'm weird. You can't see me, and so he just sort of just like looked up at me, and he like had this glazed look on his face, and just said, "You need to leave." And I said, "Well, can I get your name?" And he said, "You need to leave or you'll be arrested for trespassing." And I said, "Oh, you're going to do that?" I said, "Pastor, sir, I'm seriously just want to hear and just want to pray with you." And he said, "You need to leave." And then I said, "Oh," and I think he said, "You need to leave now."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay." And I just got up and turned around and walked away.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, I went back to him. I think there might be a video of it or something because there was a lot of people there.
Yeah, somebody else.
I did go back to
I think
him
it's
and
the iPhone Guru. I think has that video or something. Because I was on the other side when that guy came out. I saw everybody rush over there, and I'm like, screw that. I'm chilling back here. I'm trying to, and that's when I had the camera on the front door and the back side door where he was parking at before. So I fixed my camera in that spot because I'm like, no, I'm at this back door. Everybody can run over there and go to the guy that's kneeled down and shit. Yeah, I'll zoom in for you and I'll post a video on YouTube. But I'm like, no, I got to stick here. And then this person that came out a few minutes after that, that's when I was, somebody was like, hey, CJ, this lady wants to talk to you. And so I'm sitting there finishing up what I'm doing. And then I head over there. And I feel like it was a distraction. I feel like the guy that came out to pray on the sidewalk was a distraction to try and get somebody out of there without people knowing. And because I was still on the other side watching the front and the side door, that's why that lady came out and started talking to somebody and then said, I want to talk to CJ. And then that's when somebody said, hey, CJ, this lady wants to talk to you. So I feel like it was because this lady, I don't know if you were around in that part when this lady was talking to me, but she was telling us that we needed to go in there and take the protest inside the church and surround the congregation and all this other stuff.
You know what?
And I'm sitting there going, we ain't getting
arrested.
arrested,
Video, right?
huh?
Posted like an 8-minute video.
Yeah.
Is that the lady you're talking about?
Yeah, like we're not gonna get arrested. Are you crazy? Like, and so that's why to me, and then she's the same one that said I needed church clothes to go in there. And I'm like, I even said, like, listen, that 8-minute video is just a clip. You can go watch the whole conversation on the live stream. Cause I'm like, what do you mean? I can't. What?
You know what?
I'm like, what are you trying to do? Get us
I know
arrested?
the audience. Are we confusing your audience? I mean, are they? We are having a great time talking, and I don't know if they're like if we're.
No.
Are they following us? I think some are.
Oh yeah, no. We all have. We're talking about this, and then it ends up spawned in different parts of conversations in chat. But no, it's we're all kind of discussing this together. That's why it's a community effort. And without any, like, hell, there's people that'll type in chat and it adds to something that we're talking about. Cause then I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about this, you know? No,
Right.
no.
Well, can I give my opinion on that?
On what?
I think that on the lady,
Yeah.
right? Is that okay?
Which one? The lady that
The lady the distraction lady.
Yeah.
Your distraction.
Yeah,
not
she
the
was a
lady that
plant.
playing
She
with,
had
but
to
that
be.
was another lady.
She had to be a plant.
Well, see, what I think is my honest opinion, CJ, is I think that you're right because you would not feel that fear. Okay, you know, we call that the gut instinct. We call that, you know, our intuition. I believe that is a possibility. I believe that is true. I believe that they told everybody go out the back is what she says, or other people are saying, you know, they said go out the back, go out the side. I didn't even know that, right? I found this out later. And so after analyzing it, I looked at it and I said, you know what? She went out to the front, and there's a couple other people that went out the front. Okay, now I believe that he probably said, or someone in there probably said, listen, if y'all go out front, blah, 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 but they'll be going out back. And so she was probably thinking, you know what, I'm going to go out and distract them so these people can get out. I believe that was her motive. But, hear me out. But I believe that once she started talking to you, it wasn't about the distraction. I think that she might have been trying to say, hey, y'all need to come inside. I don't think that she meant come inside and protest. This is just me. Now, you know, the only way that we know anything is if we can get rid of our own biases, our own cognitive dissonance. I mean, you were talking about if we can escape that and try to come in with open eyes and open hearts and open minds and try to look at it from all sides. I was trying to look at it from that way. And I said, you know, the way that she's speaking, the way that she's talking, I think she's nervous. She's trying to say something. She's kind of befuddled, you know. I think that she came out to be a distraction, but she realized that you guys weren't all that bad. And she's probably thinking, you know what? They probably, if they would just come in here and just talk and come in and share and just come in.
Do you think
and
they
pray
would allow
worship.
that?
But then you had a good point by saying, hey, I've tried to come in there.
I have.
I don't know. It's almost like that hindsight, you know. I think that lady, and I'd like to ask that lady. I'd like to see if, you know, what her motive was, which we don't know if we're ever going to know, but maybe might run into this lady sometime, and she might just as well say that. But you know what? I did come out to kind of, give some cover for the people leaving out the back. But, once I started talking, I was thinking, man, if you guys could just come inside and share and talk, and everybody could just, not realizing that
They wouldn't
dude,
let
to
me.
us,
Do you think?
to you,
Let's be
that sounds
honest,
like
man.
a huge
Let's
red
be
flag
honest.
and setup.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Do you think if I walked in there next Sunday, because I'm going to be there, let's be honest. If I walked in there next Sunday, you don't think they're going to have me removed?
See, and that's exactly what I thought. You know what? Because I was actually going to go in there.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking about it. I did not know that we weren't supposed to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not, quote, a protester. I wasn't protesting anything. You know what I mean? I'm there in support of, well, does that make me a protester? Well, hey, put me on a side, that's the side I'm on. But I'm basically there. I would like to go in and talk. I would like to listen. I'd like to hear what it's. I'm just like you. I agree with you. I think we should be allowed in there. Why not?
This is okay, but this is where I'm coming from. The week before, they were calling LE and they were trying to get the protesters removed because it was disrupting their service, the noise level. They had law enforcement come in to check the noise levels. Law enforcement said we weren't creating a distraction according to their code. Then what did they do? They started complaining about the honking. Now the officers had to start writing tickets. The thing is every time that we've been out there, I've been out there for over a month. Every protest, every time they're trying something different to get people away from there. And the reason that they sent her, this is a checkers move. It's not even chess. The checkers move was send somebody out there and talk them into coming in.
You're funny.
Send somebody out there and talk them into coming in, because we can't get rid of them any other way. At least we can get rid of them if they come in the door, and then we have a reason to remove them. So then we can go, hey, officer, we just removed this person. I don't want them around this church no more. It was a checkers move. It was a checkers move. Some people out there might have been, because, it's emotional out there. Sometimes people get blinded by emotion. CJ don't. CJ's like, no, that don't smell right.
And I don't blame the people that got emotional either. I mean, hey,
no, we're human. That's what we do. It's passionate.
If we can't be men and women enough to understand that, hey, somebody's going to be upset and they're going to say some things and be loud. Hey, that's their piece.
Right.
That's why we have the First Amendment, right? That's why we have freedom of speech. Speech your piece. But to your note, I do believe that they're he's playing checkers. We need to play chess. I play chess pretty well, CJ. I think you do too.
I would love to talk to him, man. I mean, because I'm gonna be honest, like, he could sit there and there's a lot of people that are gonna have ulterior motives. I don't. I'm trying, me and CJ and JP by the bonfire. Let's talk. Let's have a bonfire. Let's get the crackling. Let's have a relaxing conversation, out in the wilderness, peaceful. Let's just have a real conversation, and, but who knows, man? He ain't, that's the thing. He knows he slips up too much, man. He knows he slips up too much.
Well, that's, hey, and that might,
in a minute and a half.
Hey, how about Jesus and Spider-Man? Get together on CJ's show and talk. Right?
Or right outside the church after a service. Quit running away.
Yeah.
Quit running away.
Right. I mean, exactly. And I'm telling you the truth. And God is my witness. I've got no ulterior motive. I want to know what he thinks. I don't want him to talk on the internet because he's got an ulterior motive of I'm going to do this one to get back at them on this, or I'm going to prove this, or I'm going to prove that. Hey, I'd like to just talk to him and say, hey, what happened? tell your story, just like what I'm doing right now. Just tell your story. You know, what's up? What do you feel? How do you feel? You know what I mean?
I want to
Wouldn't that be
know.
awesome?
I want to know his whole story. I want to start off with his childhood. I want to start from the I want it to be like literally, if you wanted to write a book, JP, tell me your life story from your first memory all the way up until today. I want to know your childhood, your teen years, early adulthood, right now.
You saw that
From the
lady that
beginning,
came out
man.
today. I think it was today, or was it last night? Talking about that she was in the church with his dad, and she has a picture of him of JP when he was little.
Oh, I don't know.
That
Yeah.
she was a teacher. Oh, she knew him.
No, I didn't see it.
That's today. That's like
I haven't seen anything that came out
caught
today
that
other
on,
than the med exam. And that's it.
yeah. She's the first one from way back to come out, and I think that was literally last night or today.
Oh, the voice change.
I saw something that came out. With,
Yeah, the voice
with the
change
medical examiner. I haven't got to check into it too much.
Yeah, I mean, no. There's. I'm gonna be honest with you because I've talked to a lot of neighbors and people. I've talked to a lot of people from there, and I'm telling you, like this. I know it sounds like it. Listen, it could be fake as hell. Like we all know the way that people do crap these days. It could be fake as hell. But one thing I am going to say is that regardless if it's fake or not, the stuff that's being said, I'm going to say I've heard it multiple times. So it may be a fake, but I'm going to tell you right now that I've heard it multiple times.
The recording that's the first lady to come out about his childhood. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the one where the voice is changed. The one where it's got a voice changer. Yeah. Like it may be fake. It may be somebody going, it may be, but I'm going to tell you right now, what was said, I have heard that multiple times. So whether it's fake or not, what was said, why wouldn't it be true? Because I've heard it from people that didn't use a voice changer that were right in front of my face saying these things.
I live here.
Yeah.
And people talk. Okay.
Oh yeah. Especially that small community.
People.
Especially
people
that small
talk.
community.
You know what I mean? It's like everyone knows. It's like the elephant in the room, you know, that nobody speaks about, but finally everybody's now speaking about it. And it's like, yeah, well, where were y'all when we were talking about this before? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, come on. You know? I mean, and this has been going on for a long time, you know? It's just hadn't been.
I've read the laws, man. It's messed up.
Culminated to like a crescendo, you know what I mean? But it's not a secret. It's a secret to the blind, you know, the blind leading the blind. But you know, to anybody that's in the know, you know, that's around, you know, it's like, hey, don't, you know, kind of stay away from there. But you know, it's what you do. You know what I mean? Especially when you're trying to protect youth and you're trying to protect people. You know what I'm trying to say? You be careful. You know, I've heard some things. You know, don't know the truth. Maybe rumors, but be careful. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh yeah, yeah. The word goes around. The street talks, man. The street knows everything, man. That's the one thing about the street.
It's not surprising. You know, I mean, it is, but I just. Oh my gosh! I don't want to say too much. I mean, I'll after we talk a little bit, and we can, you know, like plan what we'll say. Not plan what we're going to say, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We can discuss it.
We're jumping all over the place, and I don't want to be to your audience. You know,
no, you're good, man.
You had a plan for tonight, and you didn't expect me to come on, and I appreciate your time, buddy. I mean,
no, you're good, man.
I'll keep on talking, but I just don't want to. I don't want to lose your. I don't want to lose your audience.
No, you're good. Listen. Like whenever I talk to people, there's so many people that are like, do you have like a outline or something? You know, this or that, and I'm like, no, I just have a couple questions. You're like, oh, you don't need an outline or nothing. I'm like, no. All my shit's on the fly, man. That's where no, really, that's because it's all about intuition. So I can sit here and I can have a whole list of questions, But as soon as I ask you one question, man, my intuition's going in whatever direction the intuition's going in. So
Right.
that's why I always
And
prefer
what I
these.
meant was, if we do another show like
Oh yeah, we're
maybe
gonna.
tomorrow,
Yeah, I
we
mean,
can
I
at least
do
say,
need
hey, we'll
to.
talk about this, this, and this. Not what we're going to say, but we'll
Yeah,
talk about this, this, and this.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
wherever
We'll
the
just have.
conversation leads.
Yeah,
You know what I'm trying to say?
yeah, just yeah,
So
general
I
conversation.
just meant I'm not. I'm actually sitting outside right now. It's raining for the first time out here. It's beautiful outside. And I just kind of go into my room and check the TV and check the chat. And I'm like, I'm conscientious of others. You know what I mean? Not that you aren't. You aren't. I don't. You see what I'm saying? So I'm the new guy here. So I'm trying to be, conscientious. But I'm letting you lead. You lead.
You're
it's
good,
your
man.
show. I'm glad to be here. I'm honored that you wanted to speak to me, and this is it's fascinating to me. I could talk all night. I guess you can tell.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I've never run out of words, CJ.
No, that's a good thing because I never do either, and I never run out of questions, man. But I do need to. We can definitely.
I don't know if we'll make a great pair, or we'll blow the internet up with 12-hour streams or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that, man. I got to do different shows too. But no, I was saying because tomorrow I'm going to be doing like an Idaho 4 show where I'm getting into another case that we've discussed, for quite a while before. Tomorrow night I'm going to be talking more Micah. So that's why I was saying I would be able to have some time tomorrow because I have a couple other meetings of people I need to talk to tomorrow. Tomorrow, right. Like mid-afternoon, right.
Well, I got a couple of videos of that infamous May 7th day.
Okay.
For all you super sleuths out there.
Well, do me a favor. Can you email me everything in one email that you were, if you're able to, just sometime before tomorrow?
With just a couple of links about the newspaper article and JLR's thing. I didn't even know he had did that, and I happened to check, and I was like, wait a second, he's talking about, that's me. He's talking about me. And then I was asking in the comments, like, I think he's talking about me. Can you tell me what he's talking about? What he's referring to? Because he's like, in the last show I did it. I remember, several weeks back I did a show, and I was like trying to find. I was going, what is he talking about? That sounds like me, but there's a report. I didn't even know there was a report.
Huh?
Okay, I'm going to tell you. There was me. There was Thomas, and there was iPhone Guru. All three had similar incidences with him. I was the first guy. That's why I kind of reached out to you or Thomas. Was like, wow, you guys are here. What a coincidence, because I wanted to find out from Thomas. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't want to say too much. I will talk about it after I get off the phone.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, let's because I do need to get into the medical examiner's preliminary summary. I do want to get into that. Let's if you're not busy tomorrow night, and there's no, if you're not able to, whatever, we can schedule another night.
Oh, no,
whatever night is good for you.
If you tell me approximately, like I knew that you were going to have the 7:30 because you mentioned that.
Yeah.
And so I said, I'm going to have to clear my slate for about an hour and a half. You know what I mean? Yeah. Plus, when I get off, I know my son or my wife is going to, want to talk to me. So I cleared up, about 2 hours for you today. So
I would say
if you can just let me know about what time I can just,
Yeah, I would say like
I'll just ignore my phone.
7. I would say just to be safe in case my daytime show runs a little later, maybe 7:30 Central tomorrow night would be a good time. That way, if I'm on a little early, I can, discuss some other things before. And then that way, if I am running a little later, I'm not like, hey, man, I'm going to have to bump it back. I don't want to, affect your schedule that way. So I'd say just to play it safe, 7:30 Central tomorrow night would probably be a good time.
And what I'll do is I'll email you what I sent you today.
Yeah.
the three things that JLR did about me, but never talked to me like this. He was going to when he was here, and we never made it. I actually got out of town. He came into town. I was here for 2 days. I wanted, we were trying to set up a meeting, and then I ended up having to go out of town. And by the time I got back, he was gone. So then so I just sent you those clips of where he was talking about that incident, so you know that incident is real. It really happened.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it now after the fact that, I saw that and now I'm projecting myself in. That's really what happened to me. And I've got video evidence to prove it.
Okay.
So I'll send you those things that I sent you today. And even on that newspaper article about him, that it mentions about the guy that went up and to just meet, the reporter or whatever on the 7th. I wasn't a reporter, you know what I mean? But I just sent you those things, right? Because nobody knows. This is now just, it just is the timing now, right? So I'll show you those videos, and I've got video proof that what he said is a lie on that report. I'll prove it.
Oh, okay.
I never got in the car. I never confronted him. I never saw him face to face. We never even had physical contact whatsoever. And he calls the cops on me that I had a gun. Crazy.
Oh, you were the one he called the cop on for having a weapon, huh? I had heard
cops
that.
pulled me over at the gas station.
So you were the one.
Dragged me out. That's me, dude.
No fucking way. I mean, sorry. Wow, yeah, man.
Jesus tonight, remember?
Yeah, right. My bad. 7:30 tomorrow night, man. 7:30 Central. Yeah, EVILLECJ@gmail. I think I wrote it down for you. If not, EVILLE.
Yeah, you wrote it down as long as you spelled it right, which I'm sure you did. Unless you were, just
it's not spelled EVIL. It's EVILLE. But yeah, send it to me.
I'm gonna send you the 2 clips. I appreciate you not share those clips until we talk.
No problem. Yeah, it's not about being first for me, man. I just like to do it the right way.
Like I said, from the newspaper article and JLR, so I don't really care. All right.
Yeah, man, and shout out JLR for him, dude. He's amazing too. Him and Magnolia, everything that they're doing, bringing the awareness as well. So, yeah, man, let's do it. I'll hit you up.
He's a cool dude. You're a cool dude, man.
Oh, I appreciate that.
It's all good. And like I said, just look over those and give me a shout tomorrow sometime so we can just like touch base.
Yeah.
Like, hey, still on for the night, blah, 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 blah. I promise you I won't keep you long on the phone because usually during the day I'll just, get to the point, say, and, if we trail off 5-10 minutes, that's fine too. But just touch base with me tomorrow, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
After you get off. It doesn't matter.
If it's not in the morning, if I don't hit you up in the morning, it'll be after my daytime show. I'll be hitting you up because that's when I have some of my other meetings too. So if it ain't in the morning, it'll definitely be tomorrow afternoon. All right, man.
All right, brother. Hey, man. Hey, I love you guys.
Appreciate you.
This is from my heart. Love you guys. Love everybody here. Thank you so much, DJ.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
awesome. Thank you. All the people in the chat. They're cool. And you got some good minds. If I ever start a channel, I need to borrow some of your minds.
No, you can't. They're my angels, man. But thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words, man. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Let's see here. Cool dude. All right. Yeah, thank you so much for the call, man. Damn. A lot of crazy stuff. March 7th. And he was the one that got the call on for the weapon. Isn't that crazy? I had heard about that. I didn't know it was him, though. Didn't know it was him. That's going to be interesting tomorrow night. So even if like I said, tomorrow I got my daytime show. It might run a little late. If it runs a little late, then it would end up being pushed back till 7:30 Central. Now I might be on a little earlier. Like I said, it just all depends with the day show tomorrow. But if anything, if I'm not on at 6:30 Central, I'll definitely be on before 7:30 Central because I need to have a show started before we even hit 7:30. So if you don't see me back tomorrow night, you'll know 7:30 Central. We're going to be having another call from Protest Jesus J. So shout out to him. May 7th, Protest Jesus J. Thank you so much. All right, now let's get in to the medical examiner information. Let's see here. All right. It says December 30th. Oh, hold on. I got to shrink this up. Can you guys see it okay? Hold on. All right. Decedent, 30-year-old female who was visually identified. Yeah, I'm still here. What's up, Nana? Hello? Can you hear me? What are you tripping on? Sarah, what do you mean? No, thank you. In South Carolina? No. I'm back in the studio today, and then I'll be back. I'm gonna be in the studio for a few days, and then I'll be back. I'll be back for the next protest for sure. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Yeah, I'll be back for the next protest for sure. I need some more coffee. Oh, thank you, Sonia. All right, it says, give me 1 second. 30-year-old female who was visually identified by law enforcement through photo ID. According to decedent family, they had tried to call and text decedent on 4/27/24 without success. Was last known alive visually by surveillance camera gas station at 4135 South Highway 41 in Mullins, South Carolina at 13:33. And verbally per conversation with 911 dispatcher at 14:54, in which decedent asked if the dispatcher could see her location. Decedent voiced to 911 dispatcher that she was about to unalive herself and wanted her family to be able to find her. 911 dispatcher confirmed phone number of decedent and location as Lumber River State Park. Law enforcement was notified and began searching for decedent at Lumber River State Park at 15:20. Decedent's phone was pinged, and at 15:33, law enforcement had drone dispatched to the area. 15:42, Verizon phone carrier was notified for location verification. At 15:42, decedent's car was identified at Lumber River State Park and parking lot secured. Law enforcement found in vehicle a 9mm Sig Sauer hard gun case, and receipt showing weapon was purchased at Dick's Pawn Shop at Myrtle Beach on 4/27/2024 at 12:32. Law enforcement also confirmed the weapon was purchased with the decedent's debit card. At 16:23, law enforcement was alerted by kayaker a body was found in river. Why so long? Right? We're going to be getting into that. In that deep dive, law enforcement was also given a black bag with ID and money that was found on bank of river by a person at river. Law enforcement recovered 2 spent casings and 1 live round on the bank river. Why would there be 2? Look up Gary Webb. Look up Gary Webb. Somehow there was 2. Huh? Look up Gary Webb. Regional pathologist was called to scene for assistance. Decedent was found prone, submerged in river beside tree limbs about 100 feet from casings. No signs of physical struggle at location of casing. Decedent was removed from water by law enforcement in a boat and brought to bank on river. Bank of river was muddy and had heavy brush with briars. Decedent had dirt and debris on her hands and clothing. Interesting. On the hands, too. At 1911, a 9mm Sig Sauer pistol was removed from river approximately 5 feet from bank. Using a magnetic and serial number on gun matched the gun's case found in decedent's car. Medical records documented decedent was hospitalized on 11/29/2022 until 12/5/2022 on self-unaliving precautions for bipolar 1. Recurrent manic episode. I don't know that word. Tetrahydrocannabinol dependence. So I'm assuming that's some kind of medical marijuana. A dependent personality disorder. The decedent was hospitalized from 2/7/2024 until 2/12/2024, secondary to emergency protective custody by her therapist. Medical records stated 2 prior mental health hospitalizations and previous self-unaliving attempt with a firearm. Records on 2/7/2024 also state Delta-8 gummy consumption, so okay. And increased paranoia with bizarre behavior. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. There's a reason. Oh my lord. Look up Delta-8, people. Delta-8. Now, I've never used it, never had it, never consumed it. I've just heard a lot of stories. With this Delta-8. Paranoia and bizarre behavior. Come on, man. It's not even. When you have to recreate stuff with chemicals. I've heard of paranoia and bizarre behavior from Delta-8. Just saying. A lot of it too. People jumping out fucking windows, yo. What the hell? That guy jumped out a second-story window? Yeah, that motherfucker just ran outside because he thought people were fucking watching him and shit. It's like, what the hell, man? Like, he literally jumped out a second-story freaking window and broke both of his damn ankles because he thought somebody was chasing him, and it's like, what the hell you talking about? So when companies gotta go with chemicals, come on, paranoia and bizarre behavior. You gotta look up your stuff. Decedent family did not confirm her previous self-unaliving attempt by firearm. On April 4th, 2024, decedent records stated she was seen and given prescription for hydroxyzine 25 milligrams for anxiety. Regional pathologist assisted examine the decedent. Exam was consistent with the reported incident. Upon further consultation with the office of the chief medical examiner and law enforcement, there was no concern for foul play and an autopsy was not warranted. I thought JP said that the autopsy. Well, they told me we should have it. I didn't know how these things went. All right, so we're gonna go through this. Right, you can go get it at a damn gas station, man. Delta 8 is bad. I don't know, Stephanie, I'm not sure. If anybody I'm sure it's legal. I'm sure you can get it in the gas station in South Carolina. Oh, it's not legal? Not legal in South Carolina. Delta 8, it's gas. You guys know how unhealthy gas station hot dogs are, right? If you know how unhealthy gas station hot dogs are, then can you imagine how unhealthy gas station ganja is? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right, let's get into this one. Excuse me. Irregular exit wound, 4.5 inches in from midline of head, 11/16 of an inch and times 5/16 of an inch, blood present in auditory canal. Whoa. Okay. Let's see. Entrance, 4.5 inches from, so it was okay. Deposit along with edges of wound within the wound. Muzzle. Okay. When did she buy a muzzle? Wait a minute. Did she buy a muzzle? I don't. Wait a minute. Did she buy a muzzle? So okay. Did she buy a muzzle? I thought she just bought a. Where's the receipt? Where's the picture of the receipt? Can can, can somebody drop the picture of the receipt? I don't remember. I don't remember seeing a muzzle. And why would she have a muzzle to a gun she didn't even know if she was going to be able to purchase for sale or not, for sure or not? What? You're not going to. I didn't think she bought one either. That's why I'm confused. I'm like, wait a minute. There's a muzzle. Is there a. So it's not a silent. So, okay. So literally. So it was that. Okay. So would you have a. The end of the barrel. Would the end of the barrel make. Would the end of the barrel make that circular imprint? Would it. Would it leave an imprint? Thank you. Let me see here. Okay. Would it leave a mark though? Would it leave a mark? Like I've seen, that kind of injury, and I've never seen like, a okay. Eyebrow tattoo shading, circumference, preorbital contusion, closed skull fracture. So basically, because of the pressure from the the injury, eyebrow tattoo shading. So she had tattoos for eyebrows. Let's see, tattoos with words pure, humble, faithful, encircled. Tattoo on the wedding hand. John Paul Miller. Oh, yeah, of course, right here where people would make sure. Let's see here. Several minute postmortem wound consistent with retrieval from brush and briar. So they're saying that the marks on the hands, several minute postmortem wound consistent with retrieval from river and brush. No, the skull fracture, I think, is when it's the closed skull fracture, when you have that injury up here and the swelling that takes place very quickly after, that's why a lot, comes out through your ears and things like that. It's gonna have the pressure in the shock is gonna create a fracture inside the head, but it's not gonna, you know what I mean? It's gonna it's gonna create that fracture, but the the wound is, I don't know how to explain it. It's gonna, like, even though the wound's right here, the whole skull is gonna fracture in certain parts just 'cause of the shot the pressure and the movement, you know what I mean? Didn't mark the cross tattoos on the back of her right hand. Tattoo crosses, several so they're saying that the scratches so they're admitting that there's wounds on the hands. Well, why would the medical exam wait a minute, I thought the medical examiner said that there wasn't any. The family said that there was. I thought the medical examiner said there wasn't any. Hold on. Let me go back to this. Whoa, where'd all my comments go? That's what I thought. They said no bruises or scratches, and the family's like, "Wait a minute." But right here, this is the medical examiner saying there was. Yo, this whole thing is just something's messed up. Let me take a little bit closer look at this. Let's see here. Okay, bag. Black bag, so like I said, you're not seeing that shit in the woods. I'll show you a picture, and you tell me if you could here, I'm gonna look for that right now. I'm gonna show you a picture. You tell me if you would be able to spot a frickin' let's see. This isn't even the exact. You know what? I wanted to show this Chronicles of Olivia video. We'll show that, and then you tell me if you can see a black bag. I wanted to show that anyway because she does a great job too. Shout out Chronicles of Olivia. Let me see here. Descendant. Yeah, Descendant had dirt and debris on her hands and clothing. Okay. Dirt and debris. Okay, yeah, it doesn't state anything about it just says dirt and debris. But when you go here, several minute postmortem wound consists. Well, I would have to look at these postmortem wounds. Let me look. Not that I'm going to show them, but let me look. Wounds. Let's just type it what it is. Several. Let's just type exactly what it is. Several minute postmortem wounds consistent with retrieval from river. Wounds consistent with retrieval from a river. We'll see. So I assume it would just be a lot of small scratch dots. So I would think that it would look a lot different than somebody, having, because the family said, I'm not going to show them. The family said that to them, it looked like somebody had grabbed her hand and forced, and that it went like this, scratches and bruising on the hand, like somebody grabbed her hand and made her do something, right? Just made her do something. The pictures I just seen look like dots and small. I'm sorry, I didn't see the description of what the family was saying they saw on these pictures. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. All right, give me 1 second. Let me see here. What else did I have? We had a lot of stuff to get to. Let's see. There's a court TV video. Yes, I wanted to show you guys. So, okay, this is a video I wanted to show when I was talking about the flash drive, right? I wanted to show this because I think it has to go right here. I think it has to go with what. Let me see here. This is from May 27th. Okay, so almost a month ago. I'm going to play this real quick, and I have a feeling it has something to do with what we were talking about when it comes to the flash drive and the one person you trust. How quickly people started FBI comes in quick as shit. Check this out.
This morning, we're spotlighting the mysterious death of a pastor's wife. There's a hearing set for next month to decide who is entitled to items that law enforcement seized while looking into beautiful MicaMiller's death. Investigators have not accused her widower, John Paul Miller, of any wrongdoing, so I want to make that clear. We will say, though, that the FBI has put out there that they are conducting a parallel investigation in the case, but not investigating Miller's death. Now, Court TV has contacted John Paul Miller's new attorney for comment, but we have not yet heard back. This morning on the show, we have two very special guests we want to bring on to talk about Micah, two people that know Micah very well when she was alive and who are certainly grieving and interested in any information that can come from this investigation now that she's gone. I want to welcome them in now. Alicia Young and Kyler Marlowe, welcome to the program. I just want to start by saying thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing information about your friend. And I am so deeply sorry for your loss, just on a person-to-person human level. I'm very sorry, and I know this isn't easy. Could we start with the FBI parallel investigation? Because I know that's what I probably see the most comments about with people all over the world who were just devastated to hear of Micah's death. So let me start with you, please, Alicia. What, if anything, have you come to learn about this parallel investigation?
I'm actually going to let Kyler answer that question, if that's okay.
Sure, absolutely. Yes, please. Go ahead, Kyler.
So, hi, thanks for having us today. From my understanding, I have heard that they are investigating the church and the church assets and JP Miller's assets. That's about as far as my knowledge goes, because typically when the FBI is involved, they don't really comment on details of an investigation, and I think for good reason, because you would never want to tip anyone off too much, and this is a very social media led world these days. But
exactly.
I do have to say that I'm a little disappointed that they're not investigating her death, and I hope that they do eventually. But as of right now, it's just us, and I'm actually assisting a private investigator at this time to look into her death as well. And I don't think that's been made public as of yet, but we're uncovering more and more every day. And I'm really grateful for everyone's assistance. And Alicia has been very helpful with that as well.
Right. I wanted to ask you about that, please, Kyler. What is it about your friend Micah's death that has you so suspicious?
So, and I've been really transparent about this from the start on TikTok and Facebook and everything. I hadn't spoken to Micah in a very long time, but we were friends in middle school when she first moved to the beach. And I think that the circumstances surrounding her abuse are what has really gotten me so fired up about this case, because I do not have personal experience with all of the abuse that she endured, but I have experience with, mistreatment from churches, and I have loved ones that are very close to me that have experienced abuse like this. And, some of them are unfortunately not here anymore to tell their story. And, I've been over and over it in my head for weeks now. Like, why am I doing this? Why am I so adamant about finding out what happened? And ultimately, I just feel like it's something I'm supposed to do. And I don't really have a concrete answer for it, but I feel like it's something that God has really put on my heart. And the private investigator would say the same. It's just something that has to be brought to light. And, whether or not she did do this to herself, I think we're more focused now on, why the trigger was pulled and not who pulled it exactly. Because
sure, was she coerced?
Ultimately,
is the question,
I feel
right?
like
Right. That's what you're wondering,
right? I feel like,
is there any inducement? Right. I think that is a very valid question, and I know that folks all over the world want an answer to that. Kyler, that's great that you're working with the PI to help uncover any more information. I want to play a clip for you both. And Alicia, I'd like to come to you on the other side of this. This is from an interview that we at Court TV did with the attorney who was representing Micah. We know that she was trying to separate herself from her husband. And this attorney, she didn't pull any punches, talking about this guy, talking about brainwashing and abusive treatment. Let's take a listen to some of what she told us.
Dutiful as a wife and abiding in terms of what she understood that God required of her as a wife, and especially the wife of a pastor. She was so brainwashed. He had been, I guess, quote, training her for a long time, and that how a wife is supposed to respond even to an abusive husband. There is a sermon that he gave. It was a series that he was doing, and this one, I want to say it was number 14, and it was called Discontentment. And in that sermon, about 2/3 the way through it, he talks about how that God says that it's a wife's duty to provide intimacy to the husband. That's her duty. And anytime he asks for it, you better be complying. And, you know, if you don't do what Jesus says to do, then you're sinning.
Yeah, this attorney shared a lot about abusive treatment, that Micah was being administered testosterone injections by her husband because he wanted to do this. She was very vocal about the brainwashing, abuse, painting a picture of terrible abuse. Alicia, when you hear about this, what does it make you think? Does it make you go back to anything that was a red flag while she was alive? Talk to me your thoughts when you hear this information now.
It does. So back in 2019, when we were there and the dinners that we would have with them, excuse me, we would see some things in the way he talked to her. If he didn't like what she had to say, or even just a comment that she made, even if it wasn't directed towards him, he would stop her. He would make her be quiet. He would, say, why are you talking about that? He would just immediately shut her down, and the light would go out of her eyes, and she would keep quiet for the rest of the time. I absolutely believe that he was using religious abuse to brainwash her and tell her, these things, because that was the culture of the church. Even when we were there, we're going to celebrate the men, but we're going to degrade the women. And if these women don't fall in line with how we're supposed to act, or, what he claims the word of God is, then it's our fault if a man steps out on the marriage. And, basically women are just to be seen and not heard, and to have sex with their husbands whenever they feel like it, because, according to John Paul, that's what God says. And that's absolutely wrong.
Right. Oh, it is. There's a lot wrong. Absolutely. With what's being said here. And I want to play a clip of something that he said to his congregation after Micah's death. Let's watch and look at his words carefully.
I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away. And it was self-induced, and it was up in North Carolina. And we're going to have a funeral for her next Sunday here at 3 p.m. And so it's all I can. I'm just kind of going on adrenaline right now. So y'all pray for me and my kids and everybody. And she wasn't. Y'all knew that she wasn't well mentally, and that she needed her medicine that was hard to get to her. And so I'm sure there'll be more details to come. But just keep our family in your prayers.
Sure, you both have a lot of thoughts on that. Alicia, I want to go back to you. He points to her mental health struggles, and I know everybody grieves differently. He doesn't look too busted up, let's just say that. Everybody grieves differently. He's certainly not able to speak. And the fact that he injected what could be perceived as blame here. I know has a lot of people riled up watching this who had a lot of disgust for the way he handled that. Alicia, somebody who was friends with Micah, you and Kyler, you loved her. You loved her. She's your friend. You're both advocating for her now. Alicia, when you hear this, did that leave a bad taste in your mouth, just as it did for many others who didn't know Micah?
It absolutely did. And because who has a funeral already planned within less than 24 hours for the following week? He was even using the mental health narrative back in 2019. My husband had went to lunch with him and Micah to discuss worship team ideas. And after the meeting, John Paul calls my husband and says, "Oh, I'm so sorry about Micah. She has mental health issues. She's not finding the right medication." So he was even using that back then.
Mm-hmm. And you know what I would love to know? I would love to know if Micah was mentally healthy until she met him. That's what I would love to know. I would love to know if the mental health struggles were because of narcissistic abuse.
And they were, because I asked that specific question. I said, did she have any mental health issues before their marriage? And I was told no.
So we don't know, but I would love to hear from a professional. Would love if there are any mental health records for treatment, if they could be revealed, because I think it would be very tough.
I was told from very credible people, I'm not going to say who, but no, she didn't have any mental health issues until after her marriage with JP.
If he had anything to do, and I'm not saying he did, we don't know, but it's certainly a very valid question, because you see this happy, beautiful young woman, and then what happened is just stunning. Something doesn't add up. We have to leave it here for now, but big thanks to you both, Alicia.
Whoops. Don't play it. Don't play it. Let me switch it here real quick. Now, this is important to note. I want to say thank you, Angels. Kyler Marlowe, who was just speaking, has made a post a couple days ago. That video was from 4 weeks ago. Today's post, 3 days ago, the 21st, just a few days ago. After much deliberation and hard conversation, Daniel and I have decided to step away from the MicaMiller case today, 6/21/2024. This was not an easy decision to make, as justice for Micah is something we wholeheartedly believe was put on our hearts to assist with. This was not a decision based on a lack of financial support, but rather based on the lack of support where we need it the most in several other areas. There are lines that we won't cross, boundaries that have been very unclear, and respect that has not been returned to us from the beginning of the case. Our efforts have not been recognized and supported as others have where we needed it the most. And while it isn't about the recognition, it is about our livelihood and integrity. We are both very grateful to those of you who have believed in us from the start, sent us tips, and encouraged us. We know that everything in this life has a season, a beginning, and an end. We do not regret the time we spent on this case or the relationships we formed along the way. It not only brought us together, but taught us so many lessons. Please rest easy knowing that any information you've given to us in confidence is still confidential and always will be. Our tip line is being handed over to someone else, so you can still choose to send tips there if you want. The protest at Robeson County is also still happening tomorrow. Again, this was a few days ago. Please don't stop sharing Micah's story or demanding justice for her. Now, since we are on this topic, I am going to also switch to this court TV video where it discusses how the feds are now investigating. This is May 15th. May 15th is this one.
There's a new twist in the death of a South Carolina pastor's wife, as the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office are now joining the investigation. 30-year-old MicaMiller died by an apparent suicide back in April. But after a local investigation was conducted, the feds will now be assisting in the probe. Here are some surveillance photos from Micah's last day alive. Take a look. She appears to purchase a firearm from a nearby pawn shop before police say she killed herself. Now, Pastor John Paul Miller released a statement via his attorney denouncing any wrongdoing, saying, quote, baseless claims should stop immediately. John Paul Miller has not been charged relating to this case. So we want to be very clear with that. Our question, though, this morning is, could this apparent suicide become a criminal case? I have three great guests on the program to talk about it with me. Let me bring them in now. In the studio, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Noah Pines. Standing by remotely, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Franz Borchardt, and entertainment reporter Kinsey Schofield. Great to see you all. This case is so heartbreaking and also somewhat mysterious. Noah, would you start us off on the conversation, please? Your thoughts on whether this could turn into a criminal matter?
Well, we've seen a couple of suicide cases where people have gotten charged, but typically those people encourage the other person to commit suicide. I think that was a case that was covered here on Court TV maybe last year or the year before. It was a girl with a young, I think it was a high school student.
Right.
But, without some sort of encouragement, just if he's a horrible husband and posted naked pictures of her online and, psychologically abused her, for them to then say, well, she killed herself because of that, would be very difficult, if not impossible, to do criminally. You'd need some sort of encouragement to even get there.
Sure, appreciate it, Noah. Franz Borchardt, to you next, please. What would you like to add to that, knowing this marriage was almost over? We know that MicaMiller had just served the pastor with divorce papers just days before this event. Your thoughts, please.
So to have a crime at a bare minimum, lowest standard in the criminal justice system, you have to have probable cause that more likely than not a crime occurred. And without evidence that a crime occurred, what we're left with is someone who sounded like she wanted to take her own life. And that nugget about the fact that her marriage was ending was certainly something that would give her a motive to do it. Tragic, unnecessary, horrible way to end a life when you take your own life. That being said, I am going to be open to hearing what theory a crime happened and whether or not there's sufficient evidence at the lowest bar, Julie, at the lowest bar, more likely than not, that probable cause exists. I'm open to hearing about it. I just haven't seen it yet.
Sure. And Franz, appreciate that point. As we know, John Paul Miller not charged here, completely innocent, cloaked in the presumption of innocence, no charges at all, and he may never face any charges. We just know this investigation has become broader. Now that the federal government is involved, it's a little bit different. Kinsey Schofield, this is where I want to bring you in, please. Do you think that the public outcry about this may have had something to do with the investigation continuing to grow larger and have more assistance?
Great question. I think it's the public outcry and Miller's family. They just recently released these text messages from JP at the top of the Daily Mail this morning, where Micah is seeking refuge at a friend's house and JP is sending text messages threatening those people, saying he's armed. The family really wants justice for their daughter, and they are speaking out through attorneys that say, we want to see her cellular telephone. We want to talk about the scratches on her body that we have photographs of. And they're really concerned because, Micah told her father she was buying that gun for self-defense. And Micah had a hair appointment in the next few days. And she was talking to friends about planning a life beyond this chaos.
Right, Kinsey. Yeah, it just seemed to come somewhat out of nowhere. It didn't, seem to make a whole lot of sense, which I think was why everybody had pause initially questioning, was it a suicide? And yet the evidence is pointing to that. And that's what the sheriff's investigation in Robeson County has determined at this point. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the moments before and after Micah's death. I've got a Facebook video posted by her prior to her death. And also we've got her husband, Pastor John Paul Miller's statement to his church after he learned of her passing. Let's watch.
I just wanted to give you a dare today. I dare you to do something either good for yourself or someone else, because the second greatest command, love your neighbor as yourself. And it makes the enemy so mad.
I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away. And yeah, it was self-induced, and it was up in North Carolina. And we're gonna have a funeral for her next Sunday here at 3 p.m. And so it's all I can. Yeah, I'm just kind of going on adrenaline right now. So y'all pray for me and my kids and everybody. And she wasn't. Y'all knew that she wasn't well mentally, and that she needed her medicine that was hard to get to her. And so I'm sure there'll be more details to come. But just keep our family in your prayers.
Our next question, what do the Miller's words reveal? Back to our power panel. Kinsey Schofield, I'd love to start with you on this one, please. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think Micah was definitely struggling with something and was trying to communicate it through a lot of her social media posts. There's also video of her talking through how people can leave abusive situations. And I think one of the reasons people are so touched by this is because she seems so beautiful, full of life and positive. And, you know, it is just devastating because her husband stood on a pulpit and said such horrible things about her. Even in that video we saw, why are you talking about her mental health right now? Why are you in that position to do that? So I'm very frustrated by this case. I feel so horrible for this family.
Right. Preach, Kinsey. I love everything you said there. Preach. Franz Borghardt, to you next. Your thoughts on what you took away watching those two clips from the Millers. And I think we've got you muted, Franz. You want to double check, make sure your mic's. Okay, let me go to Noah while you check on that. Go ahead, Noah.
I know exactly what Franz was going to say.
Yeah.
Franz was going to say that the pastor he's pretty narcissistic, right? Mm-hmm. Just like Kinsey said, he's sitting there talking really about, I mean, his wife is passed and he's like, well, you know, she had mental health problems. I mean, it's just not the proper thing to say for anybody, especially somebody who's a pastor whose job, you know, is probably to talk people through grief. You know, one of the things I can say about, I'm not a doctor, obviously. I've had two clients who have committed suicide. One before they were going to prison, and then one the day after I told him his case was being dismissed.
No kidding.
And, you know, from
after
talking,
a dismissal.
Correct. And from talking to other people about clients, you know, when people who do commit suicide, you can never figure out what's going on in their head. It's not the best day of their life or the worst day of their life. There's no, you know, set test. And I'm sure if you had a, you know, mental health professional, they would tell you the same thing. It's just almost impossible to figure out what's causing somebody to do that.
That's a great point. Right, because, you know, if we were able to pick up on the signs, it would never happen, right? You know, it's something that, you know, it's done very covertly, and anybody who's lost a loved one to suicide knows just how painful it is because you beat yourself up thinking, should I have recognized this or that, or what if I said this differently? And mental health professionals will tell you the person was going to do what they were going to do regardless of what you, right. And Franz, I think we've got your mic all squared away. Final thoughts, take us home if you would kindly.
So this pastor is not doing anything to help himself. Even if he were innocent as the day is long, his statements before this incident just, it doesn't help, right? It's not what we want from pastors. The other takeaway is this, and I think it's been alluded to and said, people don't wear their mental health issues in a visible way always. Sometimes people who seem beautiful, you know, sweet, like they have the entire world together, they don't. And so I appreciate that the family wants an investigation. They are going to get that. I don't know that they're going to be satisfied no matter what happens. And that's understandable, right? So I'll be praying for them. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm also hoping that this pastor becomes a little bit more gentler and kinder and hopefully, you know, stops talking about people's mental health in front of large groups of people.
Right. As that could be detrimental. An excellent point to end on. I want to thank you all for this great conversation. We're going to continue watching this one.
And it's like I was saying from the beginning, like, what frickin', it doesn't even have to be about a pastor. What frickin' person, period, that cares about somebody would talk about their mental health struggles in front of a group of people? What person does that? Let alone let alone a pastor, let alone about your own wife. Yikes. The dinner table conversations on that one. Not good. Let me see here. I'm going to... We're going to share this picture again real quick. I want to say thank you all so much for hanging out. We are going to end the show here. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow during the daytime. Idaho 4, some Riley strain. We'll be talking about a couple different cases. And then tomorrow night, we'll be back for some more MicaMiller. And as far as I know, just go ahead and mark it 7:30 Central p.m. tomorrow. We'll be having Protest Jesus J coming into, I guess, explain more on March 7th, and has video proof to show what was being said is not true. So that's going to be interesting. And let me see. Let's go ahead and share these again real quick before we get off. Here's the link to this if you'd like to sign. Here's the QR code. And if you have to, take a screenshot, pause it. I showed them in the intro as well. I do show them on the intros of every show. So if you do miss these, or I'm in like a buggy connection type zone of the show, I always show them in the intro as well. Here's another one. We got a couple more to share with you. And justiceformicah.com. Thank you so much for all the kind words. I appreciate your support. It really does mean the world to me. Here's some more QR codes for you. Some more QR codes for you. Like I said, I show them in the beginning. Pause it, screenshot, share them with your friends. And then again, this is justiceformicah.com. And thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. And that'll be it. I want to say thank you so much. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. It is the free way to help. And if I don't see you tomorrow morning, early afternoon, with the Idaho 4 Riley strain and more, hopefully I'll see you back tomorrow night so we can hear more from this gentleman right here. I want to say shout out to him. Thank you for your comfort and calling in. Thank you for sharing your story. We'll definitely be interested to hear you tomorrow night. Thank you all so much for the kind words. I appreciate you. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Mwah. Good night, everybody. Peaceful and positive evening.